Hello and welcome to Unlikely Heroes, the Ghost of Greymog, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e adventure on the wonderful Chaotic Wholesome channel. I am Adam Sowers, he, him, your dungeon master for this game, and joining me is a bunch of awesome, wonderful people. One of them is David, behind the scenes, making us look good and sound good. Thank you so much, David. And also joining us as players are these wonderful, very talented, very funny folks that are going to be, they're what the story's about, everyone. And please, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Piper. I use they, them pronouns. And today, and all days, I'm playing Moose. I'm going to pass it on over. Oh, sorry. And Moose uses he, him pronouns. And I'm going to pass it on over to Candace.
Hello, everyone. My name is Candace, also known as Candace the Magnificent. My pronouns are they, she, and I am playing Carrara Toonbrook, whose pronouns are she, they, and it. I will pass it to Matt.
Hello, my name is Matt, he, him pronouns. I'm playing Bob Gimble, he, they pronouns. Our wonderful little skeleton. I'm so jazzed, y'all. I'm so jazzed. I'm gonna pass it over to Kay.
Hello, everyone. I am Kay Purcell, she and they pronouns. I'm going to be playing Oda, who is a little kobold who's apparently a little blue now because of all of the magic surges that Lurking Rider made happen last time. Thank you all for joining us. Speaking of wild magic surges, we are not running charity for this one, but we do have a tip link if you would like to tip the performers. It will not only help us out in the game, it will not only, wow, we're off to a great start, y'all. It will not only help pay for the people's awesome time for being here and doing all of this, but it will also unlock perks within the game. $5 gets you a +1 to, will give us a +1 to any roll, D20 roll. $10 will get a luck point that is a reroll that the party can use. $20 is 3 rerolls. $20 you can give a box of 100% totally useful magic items. For $25 you can give the party a +1 to every D20 roll, given that the next one is the finale. I feel like we might need to, for $25 you can add more chaos, as the Lurking Rider did, and cause wild magic surges to happen every 1 and 20 roll. Haha, that was wild last time. And for $35 you can name an NPC, and we do have a named NPC showing up soon. We also have milestone perks. We are already halfway to our goal. Every $50 we will unlock extra prizes. So we have already unlocked a potion loot box and a box of 100% totally useful items. At $150 we will unlock, the party will have a +1 to every D20 roll next session. And finally, if we hit the $200 mark, we will get a magic item loot box, which I'm sure, again, will come in very handy. For that, you can donate over on our Ko-fi. Yes, I'm going to pass it back to Adam.
Thank you so much, Kay. Again, if you want to just totally destroy the game, if you want to throw some wild stuff at us, that's why you give us money. If you... Oda almost died last time, and because of one of our wonderful wild magic surges. So, hey, if you want that stuff like that to happen, go there. So with that, let's jump into some Dungeons and Dragons. Last time on Unlikely Heroes, we joined our 4 adventurers, the rodent barbarian Moose, the statuesque bard Carrara, the barebones cleric Bob, and the shadow lizard warlock Oda, as they continued their quest to escort a cart of supplies for the wizard Brandlegast to a very small little village. On the way, some stuff happened. Last time, the battle ended. The battle ended where they were ambushed by some goblins, and our heroes, our adventurers last time collected some magic items. They found some new companions, Hunter Keen, Sock Sr., and Chester the Mimic, and they also discovered during this that Brandlegast, their quest giver, they believe has been captured by these goblins in the woods. So they went off on this trail, this goblin trail, to try and rescue Brandlegast. On the way, they met this witch of the Langdon Wood, and they had the little squirrel and badger companions. While there, the witch offered some tarot cards and an ominous prophecy that will totally be fine and won't have any repercussions. past this episode. In investigating this witch's grove, they discovered that there was this field of flowers, and they discovered the sword of legend Galridian, which is basically this world's Excalibur. And it was guarded by a knight, but it was unfortunately too difficult to get at this moment. And where we left our heroes off last time, the witch had returned to collect payment for these folks to cross through her woods. So, as the scene opens, we see a wonderful little glade in front of us. We see this sprawling forest of the Langdon. It is very dark. There's a high canopy. It's very only tiny little beams of light are able to cut through the canopy to see through this lush and vibrant forest beneath it. But in the middle of this, very, very, very far away from where our heroes started, there's this nice little grove, this wonderful interruption in the middle of the forest, where we see a little river, we see a big field of flowers with a sword and a stone, and over on the other side we see this very cute little grandma-style cottage on top of two giant chicken legs. We see the stone table, a little garden, wonderful things, and we see also a couple of our non-player characters. We see a tiefling woman named Keen, who is a hunter, like ranger type person. And we see a goblin called Sock Senior, and then a chest, an animated-looking chest mimic standing by as well. And a couple of the squirrel, the badger. There's a lot of people here, and we also see the witch. But moving a little bit over, we have just seen a electric discharge as it's just sort of flown around, and people are a little bit singed from what has just happened as some folks are coming back from the flower field. And could you all please introduce and describe your characters? I think we'll start with Candace. Candace, could you please introduce and describe your character and what they're doing in this moment?
Yes. My character's name is Carrara Tombrook. It is a very kind of large, over 6 foot statue made of dark gray marble with bright white veining. She is a bard. They are wearing a very floofy and froofy, foppish outfit with a big fluffy hat with a huge feather in it, and lots of puffy sleeves and such. And they have just made their way back from that field of sunflowers. I feel like she is not as present in the moment as they want to be. The words of that night are kind of echoing and rolling around in her mind. And I don't think there's ever been a moment where she asked herself if she was worthy. Like, they woke up, they became who they were, and they just kind of went on the road with their troop. There's never been time for this level of introspection. So I think like she's kind of leaning on the others to speak in this moment, as they're just kind of lost in their confusion and surprise. But they're like excited to support their crew at the same time. She is she has like a small hand drum that I think she's like idly tapping on as everyone's sort of gathering.
I would say, Carrara, as you're thinking about that sort of like worthy or unworthy type thing, I think your mind might drift towards the stories of the heroes of old, of the Fellowship. You all know about this group called the Fellowship that has sort of, it's kind of like, to use kind of like a real world sort of comparison, well, I guess not real world, it's a comic book, but it's kind of like the Justice League, but like every sort of hundreds of years, all of the sort of members of that Justice League are replaced with the next generation. So ever since the Dark Lord was defeated like 900 years ago, there's always been a fellowship or whatever descended from that. But perhaps you sort of like think towards the stories of the first heroes and things like that, because that's the stories that people that they actually tell, and perhaps the worthiness sort of leads your thoughts towards that.
Absolutely. I think that like being that close to such an amazing relic, knowing that someone far greater than they are planted that sword for other adventurers and heroes to find, it's kind of haunting her a little bit. Like, she didn't even question whether or not it would make her better without stopping to think about whether or not it was strong enough to support this weapon, right? Or worthy enough, really, and noble enough, like noble of heart. And I think like her very jokey demeanor has died down a bit in this moment. She's usually very kind of la-di-da and above it all. But I think there's almost like it's not a dark look across its face, but it's like a pensive one maybe, which like you'd think for a statue comes naturally. But if any of you looked at Carrara, it would be very, I think, surprising to see like the corners of her mouth are not turned up in like a little smirk like they always are. Their brow is furrowed, like they look disturbed.
I think we jump over towards Matt. Matt, could you please describe and introduce your character? Tell us what they're doing.
Yeah. So at the moment, Bob is in a, I guess like an in between. He's a little bit uncertain. He does know that he is wanting to support Carrara. As to the last words of the last session, just the, you know, whatever they choose, we're with you. And amidst that, he's got a little bit of a emboldening link between Carrara and Oda that has been established, so that it's like, it's almost like, in addition to the moral support, there's also a full-on tether that allows the two of them to have a little bit of a bonus, so they know that they're when they're within 30 feet, they're helping each other out. But Bob, I mean, as he's seeing some chaos unfold with the surges of magic, he's a little scared. I mean, more scared than usual. Because you've seen him in social situations, but this is a different kind of fear. Because with his skeletal frame, beneath his leathers and his cloak, he's contemplating the idea of being like one of the other, like the squirrel and the badger here, and having to stay here forever, and not living up to what he believes Bob Gimble represents. Not being able to find out what Bob Gimble represents for realsies. And so, like, Bob, as he's standing there, he thinks about the witch's words, about the cards that were presented to us, about being the star, and not wanting that star to die here.
I think we get a sort of brief little flash of Bob Gimble's first day, and we see, I don't know, like, do you think when you emerged, do you think someone dug you up, or you like kind of crawled out, or like what do you think sort of like your first moments?
I would love if someone dug me up.
Okay,
let's go.
So I'd say like maybe we see like a brief flash of just like, I don't know, maybe like grave robbers or something like that. We're sort of like digging, and then like the sort of coffin, they pull it up and it opens, and I don't know, like you like sit up or something, and they like freak out, but the camera sort of turns around, and like sort of the first thing that you see is this very large tombstone behind you at your head. And it's unlike the other tombstones around it. It seems, I don't know, better quality, more taken care of, as if it has lasted longer than the others, stood the test of time a little bit better. And I think the words kind of sparkle across this skull's face. And we jump back to the current moment. And then we jump over towards Oda.
So, Oda is a little 3-foot-nothing leopard gecko kobold. Big round glasses in front of just these kind of marbled gray eyes. They used to be a combination of gray and yellow with black spots, but now most of the yellow has turned bright blue. So it's a very strange look. Thank you, Lurking Writer. I very much appreciate. They are wearing, all black with this cowled hood, but you can kind of see there is some sort of protective armor underneath it, so it's not a pure casting class. They have little hands with little tiny, soft little claw tips, and a tail that starts skinny and then gets really, really fat and then narrows down to a little point. And they are currently at 1 hit point. So they have been electrocuted, zapped, unconscious, and have just sat back up and are currently trying to decide exactly how much they want to eat the crow that stole their book, because that's not gone well for them so far. But they still really want to eat the crow that stole their book.
I think we also see a little bit of a brief sort of flash as well of probably the last time that you felt this vulnerable, which I believe we see a rainy day on the outskirts of a city. We see in the distance the academy, the learning establishment in Dalinor, the southern kingdom away from here, sort of illuminated in the background as lightning strikes, illuminating this very big castle-like appearance. And we see this paladin holding this sword aloft, about to strike down on Oda, and then we see a wizard step in the way, stop! Just right in the middle of the way, and we see lightning sort of strike again as we see Brandlegast moving in front of the way of this paladin before they struck down Oda. But then we flash back to the present moment.
No, I do not like that. No. And they're going to glare at Dimitri the crow. And
Dimitri is completely unaware of your presence. Just up on the house, just and pecking at the book over in its nest. And then we jump over to Piper.
So, you see, of course, I would say, I don't know how tall rats are. I'm not good at measurements, surprisingly. 8 inches? How big is a rat? I don't know.
I mean, hey, there's some really small rats and there's some really freaking big rats.
Yeah.
So
I think probably about maybe
maybe a foot.
Yeah, like a foot. Moose is no ordinary rat. Moose is shaped like a triangle of cheese. Very wide shoulders, kind of tapered in the middle. You see that he wears pants much like a classic wizard hat. You see they are a bright blue with stars on them. And flashbacks to Brandlegast. It's the same sort of material that Brandlegast wears, that Moose wears as well. Upon one of Moose's shoulders is this kind of spiked pauldron. You see that it kind of looks like tiny little tacks or something that has been made into this little spiked pauldron. He wears a low-cut, sort of tank top. This is a very jacked rat. If a rat could have a six-pack, that's what Moose would have. Got kind of various scars over the face. There's a little chip, little indent in the ear where it's been clipped. This rat has seen quite a bit of battle over his time. Strapped to his back is a large buster sword that is much taller than he is, which would normally be just kind of like a modified dagger. But for Moose, it is a very great sword. But there's a whistling in the wind as Moose kind of stands there looking up at the table where they previously sat. And then Moose kind of covers his ears and the whistling stops. Then puts them down again, puts them back up, shakes out his head. Moose is the ultimate wife guy as well. His wife is currently busy spying on just making sure that the folks that they had sent off in the cart are getting to where they need to be. But yeah, Moose is ready, isn't sure about these challenges that they are about to face, and does not want to lose his pants. As Bob has promised, Moose will be able to keep the pants that he so cherishes from Brandel Gas.
I would say we see another little, very short little thing of probably a Donald ducking Moose from the past.
This is when Moose wore no clothes.
Okay, no clothes. Okay, I was gonna say he still had like the little tank top on, but no pants.
Fully naked.
So we see a fully nude rat. And it's very, very short sort of shot, but it's just kind of from the side profiles. We see little rat, and then we see this long, tall, long-bearded, old, wise man sort of bending over and sort of like handing a tiny little piece of cloth over, and these little rat hands reach out.
And the rat hands.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The rat hands both slap the cloth away and then slap Brandel Gas in the face.
Sort of turns towards the camera, and then we shift back to the moment as we see a sweet little moment. As we jump back to the current moment, inside of this grotto, this grove, this witch's area in the middle of the forest. And we see the witch, the unnamed witch so far, who is squat, has a staff that used to have a crow on the top of it, a wooden staff, and has a shawl of leaves and greenery and flowers, and has yellow, sharp cat eyes. And the witch says, "Well, I think it's about time that we got to it." And she turns around and starts to walk towards the Blackstone table. You still are all over near the flower field. As we jump into this scene, what do you all do?
I think Oda, feeling kind of weak, not liking that, a little exposed, and also being very low to the ground, and this witch is taller, is just gonna turn and, with permission, scurry up Carrara's back and just kind of like perch on its back, its chin on the shoulder, just little bitty fingertips like peeking over, and just presses themselves close. The little tail kind of wraps around under the arm. Just,
Are you all right, Oda?
I am fine.
Miles
Are you
away.
all right?
I'm miles away. I'm trying to get things together, I'm attempting to square up, so to speak.
You are not shaped like a square.
Would that I were. Perhaps I would be a little bit more tough, a little bit more worthy.
You're also not warm.
No, not really. Not as a rule. I could be warm, though, if I sat by the fire long enough. I do conduct a little bit of heat.
I still feel safer close to you. Should we go deal with this witch?
Yes, let's go. You hear like a little crack in her voice when you say that you feel safe with her, and she just kind of like straightens up and walks over.
Moose hops up on the table. He's a bit singed after having exploded into electrical energy. There's still a little bit of steam that's hissing off of him. So you just kind of see this singed rat hop up onto the table, looking extremely ready, and then realizes, oh, I think this is more of a puzzle than anything, and kind of turns around to the others and says, who's taking point on this one?
Which? What are your questions? What is your game? Shall we proceed?
I say before the witch answers, does Bob come back over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like Bob, I mean, still contemplating all these things. He's a step slow. He's a beat slow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even, I mean, I'd say perhaps seeing that Carrara has been a little taken aback at what happened in the fields. Bob is a little bit worried about what that figure out there might have said, might be like. And so he's kind of keeping an eye back there, but he will rejoin everyone, rejoin with everyone at the table, but just kind of has that figure in his periphery. Just a little bit of, I don't know, apprehension, suspicion, wariness, caution.
Mm-hmm. Give me an insight or a religion check.
Oh, snap. Okay. All right, this will be... Look, one of these days I'll figure out how to do all the bonuses and stuff, but... That's a 7 in total.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of... A skeleton can't squint, but you do your version of that at this night in the field, and you feel like there's like something that you feel like you might know, but it's not coming to you right now. Some sort of something that you're like, it's like on the tip of my tongue. I know something, but it doesn't come.
Okay, thank you.
And I would say we join on Owlbear. We don't necessarily need to see this map, but in the southern sort of corner, the southwestern sort of corner, we see all of the wild amount of NPCs and all of our PCs and the witch as well gathering around our table. And I would say the witch sort of comes up. She says, "So, have you all decided what you wish to use as payment?"
We will play your games.
Very
Answer
well.
your riddles.
Good. Now I will warn you, in playing this game, for every question you get wrong, must be one payment that I will receive. So there is a chance that you could get all of them right and pay nothing for this passage, for this great boon across my forest. Or you can end up paying just the same. Let us
How many
begin.
must we get right?
4. 4. You must get 4 right before getting 4 wrong. Let us begin. And I would say, I think this would be fun. I'd say as she starts to speak, these sort of like yellow, almost as if like little firework lines start to appear in the air, and it kind of writes out the riddle in front of you, like hovering in space with this little sort of like magical light. In the first riddle, she says, "I sizzle like bacon, but come from an egg. A backbone have I, but not a single leg. What am I?" And I'll repeat that in Adam voice. "I sizzle like bacon, but come from an egg. A backbone have I, but not a single leg." And I'll put it in the Zoom chat in case folks want to read it, if that is helpful.
As this starts,
Yes.
in the riddle, Oda wants to look over at the squirrel and the badger and just
Mhm.
see, like, do they have any kind of reaction? This is
You
just
know
something
what?
I've seen a lot of.
Give me an insight.
I trust none of my dice today. That's a 16.
Okay. I think so. You kind of look over and you see the squirrel kind of like perks up, and it looks like the squirrel might know this, and it looks like their mouth starts to open, and then their face kind of goes blank, like they just forgot it, and they're like, kind of look around and they look at the badger, and the badger's like, and they both kind of look confused. You feel there might be some sort of magical something that is preventing them from remembering it, maybe perhaps the same magic that is preventing them from remembering their names.
Carrara, like, turns away from the witch and motions for the others to, like, huddle up. I don't know a lot about this world. It's true. But I do know all manner of creatures from living in the cemetery for so long. And I would like to posit that it could be a snake.
Or a fish.
Snakes come from eggs. They do hiss and sizzle. And do they have bones? Does a snake have bones?
They have bones.
I believe so, says Keen, the tiefling woman. Yeah, I think they have bones.
Yes. Who doesn't have bones? I don't. It's fine. Anyway, yes.
Don't have bones, well, you don't look it.
Yes.
Prove me wrong.
I do. I'll show you the inner source of my strength some other time.
Oh, well. No problem. What was that? Do you see that Akeem remembers that everyone else is there, and they sort of take a step back. Oh,
Oda like
Yes.
shuffles the tiniest bit away from King to give privacy. It's still on Carrara's back.
I didn't know the answer was flirting.
Excuse me, Moose. What? Thank you for bringing us back to center. As I
welcome.
said, I believe it could be a snake, perhaps.
Could also be a fish. They sizzle when cooked in hot
Oh.
oil.
That's true.
But a snake sounds more compelling.
I held a fried fish the other day, you know. It was quite good. Well, you all let me know what you want to go
Yeah.
with. I don't know which one is a better answer.
Snake sounds like exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm with you.
you hear the witch sort of clear her throat. What is your answer?
Excuse me, Madam Witch. Apologies for keeping you waiting. We have decided the answer is a snake.
Is that your final answer?
Carrara, like, opens their eyes really wide and kind of, like, jumps back a little bit. Is that our final answer? Is that what we are going for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, a snake.
Correct.
Yeah.
Delightful. Carrara
Yeah.
beats out, like, a really cute rhythm on their drum.
Well,
Moose
I
holds up
wouldn't.
a little paw to high five. It's like, yeah.
So far down to get to that high five.
The witch says, I wouldn't celebrate just yet. And you see that writing disappears and new writing begins. Alive without breath, as cold as death, clad in mail, never clinking, never thirsty, ever drinking. Alive without breath, as cold as death, clad in mail, never clinking, never thirsty, ever drinking. And I'll put that in the... Oh, I guess it has same number 1 as well. That one seems kind of tricky, says Sock Senior. I'm still here too.
Thanks for the commentary.
You're welcome.
You know, it's funny you said fish, because I feel like this one could be fish.
I was afraid I would sound ignorant
Sounds
if I
good.
suggested the same thing again.
Fish.
I don't know as much about fish, other than when they are cooked, so I trust your judgment.
I mean,
do
hey,
breathe,
let's
but it is through gills.
let's like break it down. I mean, like, alive without breath, is that Is that a fish?
They do breathe, but it is water, so it is not
Okay.
our same conception of breath.
All right. Okay. As cold as death. Are they big cold?
The water
guess-
is cold, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Clad in mail, never clinking. It does say MAIL, so I guess that could be.
Like a letter.
Well, I mean,
Do fish
also.
send letters?
Well, I mean, I don't know how well you can read there, Moose, but mail is also, like chain mail or something like that as well.
Like armor, like perhaps they're scales.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I mean,
that makes
hey,
sense.
whatever y'all's, idea is, that sounds good to me.
Their scales are not the same as mine.
Never thirsty, always drinking, because they're in the water. Yes.
Hmm. That makes sense.
All right,
So fish?
let's try
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Madam
What?
Witch,
Yeah.
our answer to the second question is a fish.
Are you sure?
No,
Yeah.
but that's what we're going with.
I do not appreciate your mind games.
Correct.
Wonderful.
Yes. Well done. Very well done. Another. And you see that sort of disappears, more writing begins. If a man would carry my burden, he would break his back. I am not rich, but leave silver in my track. If a man would carry my burden, he would break his back. I am not rich, but leave silver in my track.
They're like a forge.
Leaving silver.
Like making stuff.
I mean, that sounds kind of cool.
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
like, with the forge, there's like the line. It's like it goes down in a line. Like it's.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And then you put it in a mold. That's how you make stuff, right? I don't know. I've never made anything.
I've lived in the forest with other goblins like my whole life, so I don't even know really what a forge is. So I think that sounds great.
Yeah, I think it's a forge.
Yeah,
Does a
I
forge
second
have a
that.
track?
I think so.
I don't know. I've never seen one before. Right? It's me.
I've seen blacksmiths, and their forges look rather stationary. But I could be wrong. Again, I'm relatively new to this whole thing. I also wonder. Snails leave a silvery trail, but a man could carry a shell. I mean, I suppose if the shell is the house, perhaps a man couldn't carry their own house on their back, but
Yeah,
that
that's true.
seems
Oh.
quite abstract.
I believe witches deal in abstracts and trickeries. I also believe that the story of Atlas is not part of this world, so I shall not suggest that.
Yeah, we can do some sort of like equivalent or whatever. What are your thoughts, Bob?
I don't know. I'm
I feel like-
struggling.
I feel like you're the tiebreaker. Me and Socks think it's a forge.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the last ones and how y'all got those.
Do not
I
focus
think
on
if
the
you're-
past.
If you're okay with it, Moose is gonna like climb up your front, Bob,
Yeah.
and like put little paws on the side of your face and say, "It's up to you, Bob.
I
You have
don't
to
know. I don't know.
You're the deciding factor."
The snail. It rhymes with male, which was said earlier.
I hate
There's
that
no
you have a
pressure.
point.
Hey, maybe that's the trick, Maybe the answers are within the previous questions or something.
Oh.
Maybe that's
Thank
something.
you.
You see that Keen starts setting up a board with red string. No, she doesn't.
Where do you pull that out of?
It's right over here.
There is no pressure, but your decision will decide if someone must give up something precious to them.
There is much pressure. I would like an answer now.
Bob, what is your answer?
Okay. Let's see. What I need to figure out what I'm going to give up first.
No. Do not focus on the future. Do not focus on the past.
The answer to the puzzle. The answer
Okay.
to the riddle.
I'm going with snail.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
You have been doing well so far. You should trust in your compatriots. They seem to be wise, at least in the ways of riddles. Now. No, that one's too easy. Let's do a different one. Yes.
Madam Witch, I don't mean to distract you, but
Mm-hmm.
could we bargain for your two companions to be freed as well?
She sort of like looks really quickly over at them. These little rats! And they're like, sort of like back up.
They are not
What do
rats,
you
that
want
is moose.
with them?
Just an opportunity to have more in our party because we are heading off to do something rather glorious. And they seemed to be rather of assistance to you. And we noticed you have many a raven and crow here that you could replace them with. So perhaps we might have them on our journey. They could earn their freedom.
You wish to bargain for their freedom?
It's separate from ours, of course. But yes, it would be something that we could do both to repay your kindness. Because, of course, when I write the songs and I write the poems, we could discuss the witch who gave us such power and such confidence and such prowess with these boons,
Give me
as well as the journey itself.
give me a persuasion.
Plus 1d4.
Yeah.
Because I am literally have your back.
Yes.
25. 24.
Ooh, okay.
I got a 19.
She thinks, no one has told stories about Granny Willow for a long, long time. Perhaps that might be good. My sisters would be far jealous. Very well.
There is nothing better
One-
than winning a sibling rivalry.
Yes. Do you have siblings? Do you even remember? Yes, I will say one more question. If you are to get that right, then I will free these little nuisances.
What
Does
if we get
that-
it wrong?
Well, I guess that's one extra payment that you'll have to give me. Does this sound agreeable?
Yes, it's fine.
Good. And she sort of waves her hand. The last riddle disappears. Another riddle starts to be written. And she says, I'm light as a feather, yet the strongest person cannot hold me for 5 minutes. What am I?
If this breaks the pattern, however, they have all been animals up to this point.
True.
Is it a duck? Those are hard to get, right? Or is it easy to
Is
get a
that
duck?
your answer?
No, Madam Witch, we are conferring, please, Madam.
Of
It is
course.
breath.
Breath. I couldn't have helped with this one. That's lovely.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Would you like to deliver it, Oda, since you are the one who came up with it?
If you would like to turn us around.
Yes. Turns around.
The answer is breath.
Is that your final answer?
Unless the person you are referring to is an air genasi, yes.
Correct.
Yeah!
Oh,
Well, it
brilliant.
seems you are masters at these riddles. It seems I'll have to come up with new ones in the future. How very disappointing, as she's smiling. Now, to our last riddle. I hope you get it. What gets bigger when more is taken away? What gets bigger when more is taken away?
Grief. Or loss.
That's a good question. We gotta confer with the group.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is.
Grief or loss, I am not sure which is more accurate.
Mm.
Or a whole. But grief
A whole?
seems more poetic.
All this reading of these fancy tomes really has just done a number on your mind. I love it. Such a surprise. My goodness. We need to talk sometimes about storytelling.
There are a lot of holes in your book.
There are now that the crow has gotten its beak on it.
I say we do what Oda says. I don't know what it's like to lose anyone, obviously, but I do understand the emotions and the trials and tribulations that people have experienced, and there's so much written about grief.
Yeah, let's do grief. That makes sense.
What is your final answer?
I was gonna look at Moose to see if Moose wants to answer one or.
Grief.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Wrong.
No, my pants.
Oh no!
You are correct. It was a hole, but you doubted yourself. Now, the riddles are over. And now I must collect my gift. One of you can choose whatever gift you wish to give, but it must be of emotional significance. A memory, an item, a favor that you wish to give. Perhaps if you wish to give away one of your senses, a body part, it is up to you.
What if something of ours was already stolen by one of yours?
Well, that is not really my concern, now is it?
Then you will not be upset if I eat the thief.
We can speak of this after discussing the gift. I believe that is another matter. But first, the gift. Unless one of you wishes to remain and stay with me forever.
How about socks?
No, thank you. The witch sort of looks at the goblin. The goblins have already made their deal with me.
Fine.
That bastard Ziphatraz has already seen to that. But I am seeking his payment from you. Please, discuss.
I could give up my hat. It is quite a lovely hat. It makes quite a statement and an impression. It is how I collect my funds when I go out and I panhandle or perform for money. I busk about town. It would hurt to give it away, but I would do it for all of you. I don't really have much in the way of memories. Anyway, would she want a pinky? A pinky made of marble. Does that have use?
I feel like you need that.
Depending on
I
which
don't
hand
play
it
any
might make
stringed instruments, really.
then that is not a concern.
I know I said it before, but I can give away my pants.
As her
Oh.
crow has already stolen my book, I do not think that would be a suitable offering. I can offer a
Pants?
tail. It will grow back.
What if she takes her tail and you can never grow back? Like takes the ability to grow your tail back.
That would be very unpleasant.
No, so that's where all your fat is stored. What are you going to do with it if we get into a rough spot?
Exactly. I mean, when we find Brandlegast again, I can get new pants. Maybe. That's okay.
They clearly mean a lot to you.
Oh. Yeah, I guess, but I think that's what we need to do.
It's also quite a risk with your spouse. How is she going to feel about you going around town showing off your goods to everyone?
I mean, she met me without pants, too.
Will that be a problem with the Twitch TOS?
I don't know what that is.
Everyone takes
I'm
psychic
covered in
damage.
fur.
Well, again, I'm offering a pinky. I could do it on my non-fretting hand. That way it wouldn't completely impede me, but sleight of hand might be a little bit more difficult.
Oh. We could see what she wants.
So what do you all do? What do you go and offer to the witch?
I think Carrara goes to the witch and says, "Would you enjoy a finger from my right hand?
A finger?
Preferably not the thumb."
Well, a finger seems very low. Seems very not enough. I'll take the whole hand.
My hand? But how am I
Yes.
supposed to defend myself?
Well, that's your problem, I guess.
That seems a bit rich for my blood. If you would give us a moment to reconvene. Listen,
Of course.
I can't give up a whole hand, you guys. I wish I could, but really. A
That is
hand?
understandable.
How am I supposed to be of any use to this party if I can't even bang my drum?
It's okay.
Moose will start taking off his pants.
You see, I guess the witch looks at you, and I guess, Moose, you're holding your little pants in your hand, and she says, "You wish to give me this?"
Yeah, it was the first piece of clothing that I wore. That I was given before my best friend died. So I want to give these to you. They mean a lot to me. I want you to keep them safe and pristine. Make sure you upkeep them. I will never wear pants again. Unless they're from Brandlegast, but you can have my pants.
You seek the wizard, do you?
Yeah, wait, were we not supposed to say the wizard's name? But yes, we seek the wizard.
It has been some time since I have seen old Brandlegast. But
Is
I
there a
can
new Brandlegast?
taste that these pants mean something to you. Yes, I can feel the emotions behind it. This might do. And you see sort of little long fingers kind of coming to examine the pants. And I would like you to give me a persuasion check with advantage. All you need to do is get a 10 for the witch to be convinced that these are meaningful enough to you.
Well, for tension, my first roll was a 1.
Oh,
So-
no.
Oh no.
So I'll relies on this one. Okay. Do I have any? Okay, my persuasion is a +1. That is a 14.
All right. Heck yeah. So you see that the witch looks at it. Yes, this will do nicely. Sort of grabs it, and you see the pants erupt into flame and sort of turn to a little ash and it turns into flame. It starts to burn and she eats it. And a little smoke comes out of her mouth. Yes. Very good. You are free to go. She sort of snaps her fingers, and you see the squirrel and the badger kind of like look at themselves, and they're just kind of like, it looks like they're slowly starting to grow, but it's like very slight. And it's like, did it work? And he's like, I'm not quite sure, sir. And he's like, oh, yes, this is, wait, what's my name? And one of them looks over towards the squirrel. 1 second. They look over towards the squirrel, and the badger says, you are Lord Horatio Bluehorn. He's like, yes, and you're Captain Fedora Firefingers. Thank you, Thank you, Lurking Rider, for sending in Fedora Firefingers for an NPC name. The badger, his name is Fedora Firefingers. Lord Horatio Bluehorn, the squirrel, is like, oh, yes, very good. Sort of kind of goes back to attention, kind of stepping away, seeing as everyone's kind of finishing off this interaction. The witch sort of turns towards you all. It has been wonderful doing business with you. Now I believe it is time for you to go.
And you are keeping my book.
Sort of looks up towards the crow. You're saying that Dimitri took something from you?
Yes.
Well, that is against the rules.
Yes.
One must always... Yes, that's not acceptable. Would you like me to deal with them, or would you like to?
Oh, this is a fun question. Oda's gonna look up at Dimitri. I think your judgment has proved sound. I trust it.
Are you saying that the witch will deal with him?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, very well. And sort of turns her staff. She says, bad bird. And a lightning shoots out of her staff and just feathers explode off of the top of the house. Just sizzle. She says, very bad bird. And you see a sort of like wood starts to reform at the top of her staff. Yes, I think the next one will be much better, much more well-behaved.
I thank you.
Of course. We have to have everyone abiding by the rules and their manners. Yes?
Yes, manners are important.
Very true. And I would say she sort of waves her staff, and you see the book starts to float out of the nest and float back to you. And you see that she sort of waves her staff again, and you see at the far end of this clearing, you see the trees start to sort of separate all of a sudden, kind of like making like almost a tunnel out into the forest. And what do you all do?
Guess we head out.
I think Oda's gonna drop off of Carrara's back and wander towards the opening, fingers steepled.
I think Carrara starts to like tap out like a jaunty kind of tune, feeling glad to be done with this part of the journey. Like it doesn't feel like there's negativity in this area or in this glade, but there's like a lot of feelings, and Carrara, being a statue, is not used to feeling a lot of feelings all at once. And I think they're just like really overwhelmed. So it tries to kind of like get the rhythm going to kind of go back to what it knows as they march kind of with the party like toward the opening.
Bob is after learning about the significance of the pants and his failure to uphold the promise, Bob is gonna take out like maybe just a little slip of paper, and he's gonna write Bob Gimbal, IOU, and he's gonna drop it somewhere before we leave the clearing. His intention is that maybe someday he might be able to find this piece of paper, and he might be able to find this witch, and he might be able to get those pants back.
Okay. I would say you sort of drop the little piece of paper, and then you see as you turn around, the witch is standing in front of you holding the piece of paper. Is there something that you wish for, Mr. Gimbal?
Not right now, but I'll make sure you get it later. I owe you.
Well, perhaps we might work something out now. I have an offer for all of you before you leave. And she sort of turns, and as she speaks, you all hear different things. She speaks, what she says to Moose is, if you do this favor for me, then I can send you on the path, your first step in the process to breaking that curse. And to Carrara, she says, if you are to do this favor for me, I will tell you where to find those answers that you've been seeking, the answers to your past. And to Bob, she says, if you are to help me with this favor, I will tell you how to prove yourself, so that those dusty old men with their tomes will finally reach out to you. Those ones that have been hidden for far some time. And then to Oda, I offer you protection from your pursuer and a warning. Do not use your magic within my glade, for if you do, I will break your soul. That which follows you is not welcome here. And as you hear all of those things, she says, I offer these things to you all, if you bring me Ziphatraz, that little goblin. I know that is the path on which you now go, but I want him back, alive preferably. But his head will do just the same. But again, his head preferably. These things I will give you if you return him to me. Prove yourself useful. And this is what I will give in return.
Carrara looks at everybody, like the party members. I hate to be that person, but I mean, fuck Ziphatraz, am I right?
Oh, good. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah, we'll bring it Ziphatraz. Don't even worry about it.
No
Wonderful.
switching sides, Socks Jr. Senior.
No.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to downgrade you.
No, sorry. My father is junior and I'm senior.
PWD senior.
Yeah. I love you. So, like, basically, I'll do anything for you. Basically, you showed me 1 ounce of kindness, and that changed my whole life. So, I'm your ride or die, buddy.
You're so smart. sucks. I mean, what would we do without you?
Stop it. I know it's not like I want you to give me compliments or stop saying it's so dumb. Stop saying nice things about me.
Fine, we'll stop.
Oh no, I don't know. Oh no, I did the wrong thing. And they
You
kind
are
of go
all
into the
very
corner and like,
strange.
what did I do? The witch sort of looks at you all. So, the quest?
Very accepted.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, ta-ta now. And I would say as you all go to turn around, you take your first step and you feel whoosh, and you step outside of the other side of the forest. It seems as if you took a step that was miles long just now, as some sort of magic rushed you to the other side of the forest, and you finally step out of the forest line. And as you step out, you see the forest sort of like line, like the tree canopy sort of like ends here. And you see a little bit of a grassy sort of land that separates the forest from what looks to be mountains around here. You see these sort of beginnings of these rocky mountains in front of you, and there's much moss and greenery on the sides of these mountains as they start to rise up very sharply in front of you. And you also see, perhaps behind you to your left, is a little opening kind of where the goblin trail leads to. Like this is where you would have stepped out if you would have taken the full trail through the forest. And along with you, you also see you see Keen, you see Chester, the mimic chest, and you see Socks Senior as well. Also at this time, you see Chester goes and spits something out. And you see you see a bag with some sort of clinky glass inside of it, and then a hat that has a bunch of patches on it.
Oda's gonna pick up the hat and then walk over to Moose. You lost pants, but do you need another hat?
I would like. Yeah, I want another hat.
Moose will take the hat and put it on top of the other hat.
Oda will kind
Incredible.
of reach around and pat the back awkwardly.
It is
Yeah.
it is a large, or it is a wizard style hat, but it has a bunch of patches on it. Like it has seen a lot of use. And you know, since this is one of our wonderful, totally useful item packs from our audience, I'll just tell you exactly what this is right away. This is a hat of vermin. So what this hat does is you basically get to summon like vermin, which is like rats or frogs or
Perfect.
bats. They are not under your control. They're just random folks. And the other one, the little potions in the bottles, I will actually, they are some sort of, well, I'll say this. These ones aren't typical in the Dungeon Master guide sort of items, but they are bluish, greenish liquid that are sort of swirling and kind of like popping a little bit and bubbling. And you see on the front, there is a little piece of paper that says product of Dr. Horse. That is what it says on these two bottles.
And yeah,
What is that?
as Oda is patting Moose's back, Moose, you feel a tug at where your horn is.
Moose will immediately like turn and face Oda just right up in Oda's face.
Why are you touching my horn?
There is no reason.
Why are you touching it? This is mine.
Yes, it is.
Why? But why do you want to touch it?
For reasons.
What reasons?
I have to.
You have to touch. You have to touch my horn.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's been in my mouth.
I am aware. That is not the reason.
Ah.
Carrara is scribbling down notes furiously, clearly working on a book, a poem, or a song.
Do you want to hold it?
No.
Do you just want to touch it? Okay.
Yeah, I would say, Moose, you definitely, you know pretty well that it looked like Odo was trying to steal this from you.
And Moose just looks Oda up and down, I guess up and down. It says,
Hey, well, next time ask, or else I'll slap your little hands away.
That would defeat the point. And just turns and starts walking.
Moose just kind of stands there, adjusts the second hat atop his head. Did it adjust to his size, or is it just like draping over
What
him?
would you prefer?
I kind of prefer it just draping down,
Heck
like
yeah.
little floppy ears, just like a little rabbit, sort of like just flopping, standing there with this giant hat.
Heck yeah.
I think as Moose stands there with the hat, knowing that he's been given these things, but the other things that he's wearing, his little like pauldron, his little tank top, they're all put on by him. Knowing that he doesn't have his original pants that were also a gift, Moose takes off his pauldron, his shirt, everything else, so he's just a light gray rat with two hats, and of course the sword on his back. And he kind of thinks for a moment, says,
Yeah, this feels right. This feels right.
Why don't you remove your pauldron?
What? I don't think I should wear it anymore.
Why?
Well, it feels weird to wear things that aren't gifted to me now that I don't have my pants.
You need the pants to complete the fashionable outfit, you mean?
Well, it's not about fashion. It's just about what it like means. I mean, I feel like Brandogast really saw me as an adventurer when the other people in the party didn't.
And adventurers can't not have pants? I don't understand.
It's hard to say. I mean, Brandogast gave me my first clothes. And I guess it just doesn't feel right to have clothes without those first ones.
I think this is grief, isn't it?
Is that grief?
It seems
Do we
to
have
be
to go?
Grief is a hole.
It is a hole. Yes. Listen,
I ran a hole. I'm on a mountain.
it's all right to feel things.
I feel nothing.
I specialize in feelings, actually, despite not knowing how I have them. I write about them, and I get them all down to paper. What to write you an ode to your pants?
I think that would be no. I don't want to feel things. I don't need to feel things. I don't.
All right.
No.
Pardon me for asking. Just forget that I said anything. You should stow away the other pieces of your clothing, because when we find Brondlegast, he might have new pants for you, and you're not going to want to have to re-get all of the items you've already worn in and had.
And Moose crosses his big arms, just looking up at Carrara, and says,
I guess I could keep it. And I mean, if you want to write something, you could. Not like I'll read it or anything.
Oh no, you should definitely not read it.
No, I'm not going to read it. You might have it on your shoulder.
No, please go ahead. And honestly, I'll tell you this. When I write these things, it's not really for the person I'm writing about. It's more for everyone else anyway, so
Okay, good.
don't worry about it. You don't even have to hear it or look at it or engage with it at all.
Good, because I won't.
Good, because you shouldn't.
Okay, if you feel like writing it while we walk, you can, because I won't look at it. Anyway.
Good, that's wonderful, because I needed something to do on our travel, so.
Okay. That's up to you.
She takes her notepad back out and starts writing, but like turns it away from the side of its body that Moose is resting on so he can't see.
Moose will fully like look though and pretend that
Nice.
he's not.
Little whiskery nose just coming directly into its vision.
Just, yeah, you look at his nose.
I would say as you all have sort of stepped out of the forest, as Moose and Carrara having this conversation, I would say you all kind of think about what the witch just offered you. And is there any reactions to that which the witch offered you as you step out of this secret little forest glade?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Bob, it's very bittersweet because again, he's failed on his promise, and so it's like to have this thing that he's been fighting for all this time, wanting all this time, to be essentially within arm's reach. Like he doesn't have it yet, but it's offered by someone who's very powerful. All he has to do is this one thing, and then it's there. It's like Bob is thinking, like, I should be happy about this, but I'm not, because I failed. I failed my friend, and so like Bob is very much conflicted in terms of his emotions. Perhaps a little more silent moving forward because he's trying to remember where he left his paper, trying to remember this quest, trying to balance these things and wanting to feel optimistic about his goal being reached, but then being made just down about his other goals not being met.
Oda has had this very weird hot and cold feelings towards the witch. You know, started out doing something very interesting and very cool, and then her bird took the book, and then, you know, it keeps being, ooh, I like this thing, and then I don't, and it's like protection from being hunted, but then a threat and an insult against their magic. So they're just like really torn on this and kind of brooding as they walk, more than usual. Maybe the same as usual. It's kind of hard to tell.
I think with Moose is excited. This is the first real step in the direction. Knew that going on this quest would put him closer to figuring out how to break the curse. And I think there is that drive and that like motivation. While he is sad about his pants, there's that thought of,
Oh yeah, it's finally all coming together. This is why I started. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. It's gonna be good.
so there's kind of an excitement there. That's he's trying to hold on to over his sadness about the clothes.
What about Carrara?
I think Carrara, like, was about to kind of leave those kind of darker memories and thoughts behind, but the witch's offer, like, it was so easy for Carrara to be like, we'll give him up. But I think that the witch knowing about the questions that they have in their mind that they didn't really articulate to her also adds to the unsettled feeling that Carrara has. Having this sense of incompleteness makes her feel less human and more other. And in this like life of having sentience, I think she has kind of oscillated between those 2 points, right? Human and other. And for a long time she was over here, and with her troop she's been closer to human, like closer to this mortal area. And I think that going on this journey she thought was going to push her like completely into the human realm, but it's kind of actually done the opposite of making them feel even less like, not ordinary, because ordinary has like a context of being like plain and not cool or whatever. That's not really where her head is at. It's more that they feel alien, even from the others, right? Like Bob was once human, Oda and Moose are both humanoid. These other people that are on the journey are all humanoid, and she's just rock. And doesn't have any answers and doesn't have any memories. Like, trying to speed through her mind to find a memory to even give the witch was a feat that she failed at doing. So I think it feels very isolated coming out of this promise made, but also hopeful that having memories will push them back in the direction that they want to be in, closer to that humanoid place, because humanoids have memories. And she knows that they're there, they just can't access them.
I would say, as everyone is being sort of thinking about this, you see that Hunter Keen is over near that goblin trail where it exited the forest, sort of looking like down on her knees, sort of like looking at the tracks. And she sort of kind of looks up, looks over her shoulder, and she's like, all right, so looks like this is definitely where the trail ends. So wherever this place is that we're looking for, she sort of stands up, hands on hips, kind of looks around. It's definitely gonna be around here somewhere. And as she says that, you see a little swirling green sort of magic appear, and you see popping into this clearing, you see Ziphatraz. You see the little goblin wizard who has Brandlegast's hat, has a very long, a little bit too long of sort of like wizard robe. It has this necklace that has two little small cages in it that has what looks like people in them, is holding a very sickly looking bone wand and has a book next to his side. And he says, well, look at these little stupid fools and farmers. Made it through the forest, did you? Made with the witch, huh? Well, you won't get any farther, I can assure you, you fools! What? Wait a second. Sort of like looks closer and squints. Is that a fucking rat? Really?
Oh, you want to go?
Ah, yes, I surely want you to go. I don't want you to affect anywhere. And is it someone put clothes on a statue and a little kobold? Oh, they're the worst. And are you a skeleton? I don't remember creating you. What?
You didn't create me.
There's a bit of sass on that one. Yes, I definitely didn't create you. Well, I want you all to know that you're going to fail. You're never going to find my wizard tower. You're never going to get through any of its many traps, and you're going to die. And I'm going to use your bones to feed the beast. You understand?
That hat does not belong to you, and they do not have bones.
Oh, so it's my hat you're after?
Your hat and your life.
Was it wearer someone important to you? I can assure you they will be gone very soon. Yes. Oh, yes. Perhaps you can even watch it happen if you get here in time. You fools! You'll never be able to get past my traps because you're all dumb! And he sort of moves his hand up and sort of poofs away. And you are left standing in this clearing.
Is it just me, or is the most important takeaway here that he revealed that A, he has a plan, B, he has Brandlgast, C, he has traps around his building, and D, he's stupid?
And it's a tower.
Yeah.
You see another poof, and Zivotraz comes back. She's like, "No, I didn't say any of that. You are the dumb ones. You told me everything that I wanted to know."
What are you gonna do, Zippletrask? Monologue at us again?
Yeah, maybe. You have some sort of nerve. And you see a little bit, you all feel a little bit of a cold wind sort of coming from the rocks, coming from the rock face itself. And you see some of the vines and greenery sort of separate to reveal the hidden entrance of some sort of cave. And you see Zivotraz like, "No, you're dumb. You'll never find the entrance. You're all fools. You're just dumb little farmers, and you'll die out here. And even if you could, there's nothing you can do, because you're a rat, you're a statue, you're bones, and you're a kobold." That's creepy. What?
Well, he and Moose are taunting each other. Can I look at the figures in the cage?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
I mean, this is... Good God. No, that's a 7.
Yeah, I would say it definitely looks like one of them is wearing like robes. It's hard to make out because it's quite not that close, and he keeps moving around. The other one seems to be a squatter. Maybe it's a dwarf. You're not quite sure. But yeah, it's hard to make out, unfortunately. And you just see Zivotraz continues to be like, "No, and you're dumb, and you can't do anything, and I'm the genius," and disappears.
I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna fight him so good. I wanna find him.
One of the creatures in that cage. Both were humanoid. One had robes.
You think it's Brandlgast?
That would be what he implied with taunting. If he has Brandlgast, he likely wants to keep him close.
Can he hear us?
Moose looks to Socks.
Sock Senior's like, well, I think, sort of looks around. I think there's something around here. And he goes kind of near where the entrance is, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is the entrance." Sort of points, and then you see Zivotraz pops back up. He's like, "You little traitor, motherfucker!" And looks at Soxine. He's like, "What? You're stupid, and this statue was nice to me, and you're mean, so you're the motherfucker." And he's like, "How dare you?" And you see Sock Senior races up his foot, and he's like, "I quit!" And he steps on a skull that was hidden, and and you see little green smoke, and you see the Zivotraz disappear. And it's sort of mid-sentence, he's like, "I'm going to," and then he sort of disappears into green smoke.
Thank you, he was annoying.
Yeah, sorry, I just I forgot that was here.
What a
yeah, this is
display of
the
loyalty!
Here's nothing.
That was amazing. What do you mean it's nothing?
I mean, it's not like I was not gonna murder you or something, or or something. It's whatever. Anyone gonna do it?
Carrara
been
draws like a
entertaining to
little
see you
doodle. Carrara draws like a little doodle of Sock Senior, and then like Sock Senior is like, "Yeah," right, and has like this kind of like real majestic looking face, and then there's like a really tiny image of Zivotraz, and he has little stink lines coming off of him, and he has little tears, and she like tears it off and hands it to him. "You have earned this day."
What's this?
until I can give you a proper thank you, this is just a little bit of a token of my appreciation. It is you looking heroic as you are, and making Zephytraz embarrassed and stinky and wish that he had never been born.
Is this a painting of me?
I wouldn't say it is quite a painting. I have not possessed that talent yet. I will work on it, but...
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I didn't know anyone could even do something like this. This is... And he sort of like moves the paper really close so you can see he's trying to cover his face, but you see little tears sort of dropping down onto the ground. He's like, it's okay, I guess. And then sort of turns away from you. And you see your little muffled tears, happy tears, as he receives this picture. And I would say you hear Keen sort of walk up and she's like, all right, I guess this is it.
Are you accompanying us or returning?
What's that?
Are you accompanying us or returning?
Oh, I'm going with you. I want to make sure this... I think this wizard can help me just as much as it can help you all. So, and also we don't want none of these Cragmaw goblins hurting people on the road, so I think it might be best if we go in and deal with them now. So, I'm with you.
Idea.
100%.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
And Moose looks over to Oda, looking at how injured Oda is because of Moose, and says, I don't know if we're in full fighting form.
Oh, forgot to mention, as soon as you stepped out of the forest, you all feel long rested.
Oh, actually, never mind. I take that back.
Yeah. It seems as if it was one little parting gift from Granny Willow, the witch, as you stepped through the forest. A little bit of a boon so that you can do what she has asked.
And now
So everyone is long
conflicted.
rested, your health is back, your spells, all those sort of things are back.
Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. I used all my stuff.
Ew, never mind. It was a delayed effect. Oda, you look not injured anymore.
And if people want to join us on Owlbear at the southern tip of this map, you can see the entrance to the cave, to what our heroes are about to enter into. And I would say that is a perfect time for us to take a little break.
Thank you all for hanging with us.
Yes.
We will see you in a few.
Yay! Welcome back to Milk Talk, everyone. This is no, that's not what's happening here. That was a joke
prepared.
during the break. Okay, so welcome back to Unlikely Heroes, the Ghost of Grey Mog. We join our adventurers back as they have just traveled through the forest and made a deal with the witch to be able to traverse through her forest. And they ended up on the other side and met a very petulant little wizard goblin who challenged our heroes. They were unable to get inside or cross through their lair. And we join outside in this in-between forest as our heroes, our adventurers, have found the entrance to this goblin cave. So as we sort of jump over to Owlbear, we can see our heroes outside of this cave entrance that was hidden by some of the vines and things like that. And what you can move yourselves around. We also have Keen and Sock Senior there, and Chester, who had just burped up a couple of items.
Good old guy.
Moose is going to start to take point and just kind of like start to like go in first and then stop and then look back and says, I don't have like any sort of height advantage to seeing things, but I can see really low to the ground. I don't know if anyone's better at spotting things than I am.
I will say that even just standing outside of this cave entrance, as you say that, Moose, there's a little bit of a fog on the ground coming from within this, seems like a tunnel. It seems very cold inside of this area, and it's also pitch black darkness inside of there. So as you say that, you can see just darkness, and it sounds like it's a deep sort of tunnel or hall, but it's very cold and dark in there. What does everyone else say in response to Moose?
If need be, I can lead the way, but before we go in, I just want to say that I don't know what I was like when I was alive, but as a skeleton, you were the first ones that I had met that made me feel alive again. So, if you don't mind, and Bob is gonna reach a hand like in just out. He's unaware of like the whole protocol when you have to bring people in. And he just reaches a hand out and he's like looking at y'all awkwardly. But mechanically, I'd like to offer an aid in that all three of you, your total hit points is going to increase by 5 for the next 8 hours.
Hell yeah, 8 is freaking dope.
Mm-hmm.
As you say that very sweet thing, you see Sock Senior standing next to you, and he's like, "Yeah, that means a lot, man. I feel the same way about you." He's like, "Oh, were you talking? Oh,
Get
you were
your
talking.
hand,
you
get
were
your
talking to
hand
him."
in here.
So heck yeah, so that you all have, I think, 5 hit points, and I think is there some other sort of additional effect with that?
What I'm seeing is just hit point maximum current hit points increased by 5 for the duration. There's a little flavor of like toughness and resolve in there.
Okay.
But
Oh yeah,
yeah.
love it. What does this spell look like as it affects them?
I think that as far as Bob is concerned, like, I mean, he's been quiet for a minute, but whenever he fails, his mind jumps towards maybe the worst possible scenario, and him thinking like, I failed Moose here, then maybe Moose would just, run off and we would never see each other again. But just the fact that we're still teammates, we're still working together, we're still friends, then it's like Bob just feels like a little reassured. Again, not remembering any situations of that sort of unconditional like friendship. And so what y'all would feel, it's just like there's cold in there, and it's like it's that chilly feeling, but here with our little hand circle, it's like a little bit of warmth, not excessive amounts, but almost like almost as though you had just walked up to a little campfire and you just held your hands out and you just feel just a little toastiness where it's nice to be together.
Beautiful.
Moose kind of comes up, looks up at the hands that are all together, kind of glares at Bob and says,
I don't care who you were before. Here now is pretty neat. So stop it.
I'm just gonna like slap the hand.
Love slap, baby, love slap.
And Keen is sort of standing near the entrance. She's like, all right, so who's first? Pretty dark in there.
Bob.
I've got my shield, and so I'll walk in first.
It is pitch black dark in here. We'll be moving basically 1 square at a time.
Okay.
So you can position yourselves wherever you'd like.
I think, yeah, as Bob starts to walk by, Oda will just tug and say, the past does not matter. Focus on the present.
All right. Let's go.
So what would you like to do? Would you like to walk into this darkness? You cannot see anything. You just hear stuff. It seems like a long sort of hallway.
I have the age-old thing of Moose has dark vision.
Dark vision? Okay. Does anyone else have dark vision? Oda does as well?
Yes.
Okay, so I would say Oda and Moose, you see that this is a 75-foot long room, and I will sort of reveal it to y'all. 1 second. Boom, there we go. You see that this is a 75-foot long room, and you see that fog is covering the floor. Since this is dark vision, you don't see the colors of things. It is just kind of gray. It's still very dark in there. And I would say give me a perception check, you two. The ones that have dark vision.
Not investigation, perception. 12.
14.
14, okay. I'll say, so with the 12, I'll give you what you get with the 12, and then I'll tell you with the 14. Second. This. Move this in the way. Whoops. So you see this fog is covering the floor. Oda, you sort of look up, Oda and Moose, and you notice that the ceiling, all 75 feet of it, is covered in icicles. All really sharp icicles. It is about 15 feet up, and it's just covered in all of these icicles. You can hear the little tinkling of them sort of hanging precariously in this room. And I would say at the far end, you see that there's 2 big wooden doors. They seem to be shut. Moose, you notice that on the wall, sort of lining the wall, are these what looks like little runes or symbols lining the wall, sort of like carved into the stone of this wall. You don't know what it means. You don't really have any sort of magical knowledge, but you see those runes carved into the wall. And also, since you are small enough, and you rolled that correct perception, you notice that there are 2 points in the hallway that there's slightly raised stones. Slightly raised, sort of like 5 feet long. They covered the entire width of the hallway. There are these slightly raised stones that you would have completely missed because of the mist in this room. But since you're small enough, you can see just under the mist, and I will reveal those sections on the map now. So you see that they are right here. Those 2 places, they're 5 foot long, and then cover the width of the floor. And it looks like some slightly raised piece of stone. It's at those two places in this hallway.
You watch Oda kind of shrink a little bit and just kind of step around to the side and just be like, I do not like this place.
It looks to be like stones that are raised inside, and there's runes on the walls, and there's ice in the ceiling. So those will probably activate something, and maybe those will fall on us.
I don't like that at all.
Mm.
Usually when I'm in pitch dark like this, I just go into statue mode, but obviously I can't do that right now with all of you. I can't see anything, but if you guide me, I can try to move you all through this area
Do we have
unscathed.
something heavy we could throw onto those rocks?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I do not like the cold, especially when the cold is sharp.
Hmm.
Could try throwing my shield out there.
Okay. Do you want to throw it?
Do you want to throw it? You
I
seem a
love
lot
it.
stronger than me, so.
Be careful.
Mean, you're not wrong. But
Step
yeah.
back when he throws.
Ah,
Okay.
And
Okay.
Moose is gonna pick up the shield and try to toss it.
Okay, everyone position yourself where you would like to be.
Oda is backing around the corner near the plants, wants none of this smoke, because has seen Moose explode before.
Very true.
Okay, so Moose, give me an athletics. All you need to do is get a 12 to be able to hit the right spot.
Well, Moose got a 24.
Oh my
Heck yeah.
god!
So yeah, you and then hit. You actually, it hits the this sort of pressure plate or something like that. It hits it, and then it also kind of, I would say, jams underneath it as well. So it has been activated, but it seems like it can't be activated again as long as that shield is stuck in there.
Oh.
But as you throw it and it bangs into it, you hear a click, but nothing happens. I will also say, Oda, now that Moose pointed out the runes on the wall, you can give me an Arcana check if you would like to know what those are.
So here's the thing about Arcana.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 17 on the dice for a 16.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
snap.
now we got negatives on Arcana. Wonderful. From your studies at the academy, you remember, this is a very basic class. This was like Runology 101 or something like that. And runes are a simpler way, or like a way is one version of being able to enchant things is by carving specific magic runes into them to give specific effects. And you remember these runes specifically. There are 3 different runes. Yes, there's 3 different runes. 2 of them are linked together. So there's the water and cold rune that are linked together. And then there is one to the side of it that is vibration. But it seems like these are all, the water and the cold one are active right now, but the vibration one is not active. It has like a little soft little glow of the little water and cold runes.
So, it's been, they're carved in, you said?
Yes, they're carved in. They like line the wall. There's like multiples of them.
And with that 16, do I know is defacing a rune enough to like break the enchantment?
Yeah, it seems to be carved into the stone, so you would have to have something damaging enough to change that. But it seems like if you were, it would perhaps disable that section of it. But it seems like there's many carvings of it. So like, yes, it is possible.
So Oda will step just a little bit closer and squint in. And you see them like think, and there's almost like a headache, just a slight wince for the ruins for cold and water are active. There's a vibration which is inactive. There are many ruins. We could try and disable them. It will take work.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this, says Sock Senior. It must have been deactivated or something whenever I came through here.
That is inconvenient for us.
Yeah.
Who can climb along walls?
Everyone kind of looks around.
I do not have sticky toes.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if there's anything to grab on these walls.
Hold on.
I would say this is definitely a man-made place. So it's definitely like a some sort of built into the mountain, very old ruins of long ago. So these are like old stones. So there are some crumbled points and things like that. Not immediately like there is definitely not immediately accessible handholds, but like you could maybe make some, or if you were small enough maybe as well. Yeah.
Moose is thinking because the shield is jamming the first one. Moose looks to the second one and says,
Okay. I think the first one's taken care of, so you can probably walk over that. And then I can run along the wall and then jam my sword in the second one, so you can walk on that.
I can also try and... I wonder what would happen if we activate the vibration rune. And you just see this like smile, like they're always smiling, but this very intense smile crawl across their face.
I mean, we could just turn it on. Also, the shield will get damaged.
How important is that shield?
It's okay. I mean, it's just a shield.
Did someone give it to you?
No, I found it somewhere.
Hold on. I'm not good at this, but nope, I'm definitely... That insight check was a 4, so... Yes, it's just a shield, as far as Oda is concerned.
Okay. We have to activate the second one then. That's far.
Hold on. And
Keen kind of stops. Like, you all sure that's a good idea? Aren't these like traps or something?
I am going to try and disable the ruins.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just gonna go.
Just
and that
want to
tentacle.
make sure. Trying to double check. You all have definitely more experience than me doing any sort of adventuring type stuff, but I just want to check.
I think Carrara looks at Oda. Please, take this to assist you in your aims. I am having a hard time feeling so useless. But if I can help you, then that's at least helping us, so to speak. And she, like, blows you a little kiss. And this, like, golden, sparkly heart kind of floats on the breeze and lands right on your snoot and goes, when it gets there, and I give you bardic inspiration.
"Oh,
Let's go.
Oda's eyes cross. They look very confused.
Man, I still can't get over that. I can't believe y'all are magic. It's incredible.
Yes, I am. An eldritch blast at the at one of the far ruins.
Okay, give me a specific spot that you want to fire. Basically the runes are all along this wall.
Okay.
And
Move over here.
yeah,
It's on both sides.
I'd say they're all on one side. Let's
Okay.
make it that. It's all on one side. Yeah,
Then-
which sort of
So I'm kind of looking for one very
Right
near
there?
this
Okay.
one. Yeah, just to see if I can
cool.
disrupt. And I think I'm gonna aim specifically because Oda has
Mhm.
grudges and their preferences. I'm specifically aiming for the cold.
Okay, cool. Heck yeah. Great. So give me an attack on that stone there.
Well, that's a natural 20. This
Oh,
dice is behaving.
Let's go.
+5.
Heck yeah. Okay. So I'll say this. Heck yeah, with a nat 20. 1 second.
And yeah, this tentacle just shoots out, slams into the wall.
I'll say with that, this whole section, you hit the sort of cold rune, and something happens where you see as it hits the wall, it cracks, and it cracks all the way towards the door, hitting all of the runes along that line. So all of that green section in that green box right there, all of the sort of icicles up there start to melt slowly, and you see the fog sort of disappears in that area for this friggin' nat 20. As that section of the room starts to melt, the fog goes away, the cold goes away, just in that section as you blast the wall.
The smile gets bigger, and you just hear, I hate cold.
Heck yeah.
That is some, I do not know how much.
I
Do we
mean,
risk it?
yeah.
If no one stops, Moose is just gonna start walking in. Pop, 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 pop.
Okay, Moose, as you walk into the room, give me an acrobatics check.
I would love to. As soon as I step inside. Crash. 15, acrobatics 3, 18.
Heck yeah. The floor is basically ice, so you just you slip a little bit, but you grab yourself. You right yourself, and you can move. You can move your full movement. Where it just move your person. I guess just basically we'll move kind of like in turns, even though we're not necessarily in initiative, but move yourself 30 feet.
I'm on top of the thing. Is it like moving at all?
It is not, because the shield is stuck under it. I'm assuming if you put at least 2 people on it, then it will pop out.
Yeah.
And especially as a rat, it doesn't seem to be moving at all.
I just imagine Moose on top of it, jumping. Just like, there.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, pretty much. Just jumping is like,
It's fine. It's ice. So walk careful.
Okay, thank you.
We're just gonna
so-
look up at Carrara with just big puppy eyes.
oh.
I feel like we're like past the point of direct communication now, and Carrara just like taps their shoulder.
Scurries up. Tail tucks up real close, does not want to be anywhere near the ice.
I can't say I'm much warmer than this ice, but I'll do my
No,
best
you
to
are
not
warmer.
freeze you out.
My toes would not be happy.
So who is entering the hall? Anyone who
Carrara's
needs
gonna
to
come in.
Okay, so anyone who's going to move in there, give me an acrobatics.
Okay. I also think that there's a lot of discussion between Oda and between Oda and Carrara as it enters, because she can't see in here. So I got a 3.
Okay. So as you walk in, you fall prone. You don't take any damage, but you do fall on the ground.
Oh, good heavens!
And then you have to spend half your movement to stand back up, and you can proceed. But it has, unfortunately, lessened the amount of movement you can do on this turn.
Do I do an acrobatics too then?
Oh, yeah, I would say since you're a little on there, give me a dex save
Okay.
to avoid being crushed.
That's an 11.
Okay, all you needed was a 10. So you avoid being crushed by Carrara's statuesque body. But yeah, as she falls back, as they fall back, and I'm gonna do a roll for Sock Senior and for Keen, and let's see how they do. I want to change color.
I feel like it's like when a cat, when a cat's in water and something is like, and the cat's just like, nope, everything to avoid the water. It's that.
Okay, so Socks falls down as well, but you see Keen kind of like picks him up. He's like, all right, let's get, or just kind of like picks them up by the back of their shirt, and like, and just keeps walking with them. Like, you gotta watch your feet, kid. And they move up 30 as well. So they move up to like here. We'll say that Chester is just with us.
Okay, good. Okay.
Don't have stats for Chester. Chester's just a chest.
Chester just spins his way across the ice.
He starts floating and shoots rays out of his mouth. Bob.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm just bringing up the rear. I imagine that Bob is a little worried, and so he's gonna hug, basically try to hug the wall. I imagine just like me when I went ice skating for the first time, just like, you hold on to the side and you're like, I'll go up. You
Wonderful.
said acrobatics?
Yeah, give us an acrobatics as you enter.
That's a 9.
Plus your acrobatics.
I have 0. So.
Okay, so you fall down as well. Have to use half your movement to stand back up. So you can only move 15 feet into this room.
I'm gonna stay back here. I just wanna. I'll head up the rear.
Heck yeah. So let me jump back to Moose.
Moose is going to step off the plate and continue moving up.
Give me another acrobatics.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20. Let's go.
Ooh, heck yeah. I would say you can actually, if you want, you can make an athletics to jump over that 5-foot section in front of you.
All right.
Sick.
Unless you wanted to step on it. But basically, this will give me a little bit more movement if you wished to continue.
I will take it. I think it's really funny that like Moose is like, it's so easy, and is like ice skating with his little paws on the ground, and then does like a little pirouette and tries to like hop over with the momentum, and rolls a 7.
Okay. Is there anything that you have? Is there anything that you'd like to add, or anything else that? You have. No, someone else has Bardic.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that anyone would like to add or do in this moment?
I can't see that far, can I? In the dark, or is it?
No, yeah, it is pitch black. Unless someone unless someone cast light or pulled out a torch. Actually, yeah. Also, that means that Carrara and Bob, you have disadvantage on your acrobatics checks while it is dark, because you don't know where you're going or what's around you. So yes, it is pitch black for both of you. You can retroactively decide that you like. Oh, I pulled out a torch if you want.
I'd like to torch. I'd love to torch.
Heck yeah! So you pulled out a torch when you came in because again you're hugging the wall. It's scary enough as it is. You pull out a torch and you can see the rest of this hallway in front of you. So yeah, you can see mooses within sight.
Okay. In that case, would I don't know if I'd be fast enough, but if I may, oh shoot, I can't even. Okay, this isn't gonna help you right now. I'm sorry, Moose, but oh man, that's also I'm screwing up right now. Can I do a warding thing? Can I use my warding thing?
What is the warding thing?
So okay, 2 willing creatures within 30 feet, making the tether. Essentially, what I did with Oda and Carrara last time, and maybe in this case it would just be like a. I'm sorry, I broke my promise. I swear to you. It'll be a D4. I don't know if that'll help very much.
If I can hit a 10, maybe.
Let's see. So it's a 7 that you
7
have
right now.
You unfortunately won't be able to hit it. With that.
So,
And I'll say also, this spell within 30 feet. Unfortunately, you're not within 30 feet of Moose at this time.
Okay.
So does anyone have any reaction spells or anything like that they can do?
badly do you want to succeed on this?
I don't mind screwing it up, but at the same time.
Do you want to take some damage to try?
Yeah.
Because I can repelling blast.
Oh my god, please.
Oh my god.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
If GM will allow.
Yeah,
Now,
I'll do
Bam.
this. You first, we need to roll. I need Oda to roll a dex save to be able to do this in time.
Okay.
Since this is an action type thing,
Yes.
I want you to go only a dex save. You need to get a 14 or above to be
Okay.
able to react, and then you're still going to have to shoot and hit.
that's a
Moose.
17 plus 2.
Incredible. Okay, so you
Dang.
see in like bullet times, we look over as Moose is slipping in the air, and you see the trajectory. They're going to fall right on that trigger plate, and you feel the sort of little whispers inside of you sort of charging up, and you have the chance to shoot a repelling blast at Moose.
The arm again just turns into a tentacle, and Carrara, you just see an inky blackness shoot past the corner of your vision. Spells. Give me spells. That is going to be an 11 plus 5. 16. Does that beat your armor class?
Yes, it does.
Boom! Roll damage.
So I can use repelling blast, but choose to not do my savage, right? Or is it both?
What is the
Not the
savage?
the other pact boon. Hold on.
It's like you add your charisma
Agonizing
modifier
blast,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I feel like
fine.
they're just kind of like always on.
That's cool. I just want to make sure. Well, that's nice
Yeah.
because that's a 1 on the D10, so that's
Heck
going to be
yeah.
4 damage to you,
Heck yeah! And then
or force damage, and then you were thrown 10 feet.
10 feet, perfect. So then you're actually thrown
Amazing.
to here.
Nice. Nice.
Incredible. So right as you're about to fall on this thing, this black tentacle just like I guess whips you and pushes you 10 more feet just as you were about to land on that pressure plate. And
That was done out of kindness.
There's like a. I feel like there's like a, wee, like a little like squeak. It's like wee wee as he hits the ground and bounces, and then he stands up and he says, "I'm good." Little rat thumbs up.
Thank you.
And then we move towards the back of the room as you are all near that plate. Carrara and Bob and Oda, what would you like to do?
I am continuing to cling.
Go ahead. I'll catch up. Holding my torch and the wall.
Carrara.
Carrara's gun shy. They're really nervous. It's having a hard time. It's like looking down this hallway and kind of peering and like sees what Moose had to do to get over and is like worrying about their marble chipping off if they have to get force blasted against the fucking wall. I think she's freaking out a little bit. I think... Oda, are you still on me? Have you reclutched?
Oh yes, reclutched. Very, very clutched. Like little nudge. You will be fine. You do not have to jump that high. You are not a rat.
No, I'm not a rat, but also I'm not quite, well, you see, I've been told that I am, unwieldy is the thing. Usually I yell my way out of situations where I feel intimidated, but right now it seems as though I can't do that. So,
Yelling right now might cause the icicles to fall.
Oh God. All right, I think I'm just going to run quite fast and try to jump over this area. Do you think that might work?
So, okay. Seeing how the shield is wedged and knowing that this is a statue of pure marble, do I get the impression that it has to jump this one? Or if they step on it, will it dislodge the shield?
Well, I think what we'll do is just kind of like roll a luck check if you step on it. So it'll be more in your guys' favor. It'll be a little bit easier of a luck check. So it's very hard to tell unless you like, yeah.
There's kind of a pause, and you hear, "You may wish to let the others go first."
I rolled my luck check, and I got a natural 20.
Ooh, okay, all right. So yeah, so I mean,
I feel like you hear in your ear, "You may wish for the others to go first."
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that means that you were just going to step over it.
Yeah.
Or step on it and over it. But first, give me an acrobatics, because you're still moving on ice.
Hello, Raiders! Thank you and welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. We're going through a hallway. It's cold and slippery.
14.
14. Incredible. So you do not fall down on the ground. You're able to step on this pressure plate that has been jammed, and you're able to walk over, so you can move your full movement.
Awesome. Carrara like takes a running leap and is like, ah! And then comes upon this one. And I think it looks at like this other plate and then like kind of throws the glance over to Oda. Do you think I might get lucky twice?
Well, so long as you get past where the icicles are melting, I think you will be fine.
All right. I think that's my full movement because these are 5 apiece. These little guys.
Both 5.
So that's where I think she stops. Like, I think everybody else like sees this normally very composed, kind of live statue, and she just like kind of breaks down. She like takes her hat off and like puts her like kind of squats, not like a super deep one, just like a little one, and puts like both their hands like on their thighs, like, oh God, yeah. Nobody said anything about pressure plates and adventuring. What kind of adventure has pressure plates? Really? Oh God.
Good job.
Thank you, Moose.
Just feel a little hand patting the back of your head.
Oh, thank you.
If you wish, you can use your action to dash and continue going.
I think
that's up to you.
With the encouragement and the desire to just get this over as quickly as fucking possible, I think she does dash. I think she's like, yeah, and then just like launches herself forward across the.
Incredible. Give me either an athletics or acrobatics to try to jump over this next section.
Oh my God. That's an 8.
total.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that? Or is there any way anyone else would like to help?
I can't give them back the Bardic, can I?
I don't think so.
Wait, can I do the same? Okay, can I do the Oda Carrara connection again?
Oh well, don't they still have it?
No,
Or
it lasts
something?
10 minutes.
Oh
so-
well, you know what?
Yeah,
I think, especially since you did that and it was super wonderful. We'll just say that like basically the 10 minutes started once you were outside of the
Oh,
forest.
snap.
So they'll say
Okay.
that that's still connected. So
You're-
that's like a D4 or something
D4.
like that?
D4.
Okay, so you rolled an 8. You have to get a 4.
Can
To
I?
not
Okay,
fall.
I don't know how, but since I'm on them, can I use a help action? Be like, you need to jump at just this place.
How are you helping? I guess that's something that I want to ask.
Hold on, Moose has a thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe using it and just like because Moose has 2 different strengths, has rat strength and actual moose strength. Could Moose potentially assist as well, maybe by reaching out a hand, just like grabbing Carrara's foot and just holding them up?
You know what? I think with the combined Oda and Moose, I will give you advantage on this roll. So basically roll one more time and take the higher of the 2.
I think the way that Oda helps is it starts to go and it starts to slip and the balance is going one way and Oda scurries to the other side to like counterweight it.
That's wonderful. I love that. I love that.
The little fat tail is like flailing. Nope, this way, this way.
What was that, Candace?
15.
15.
Let's go.
I feel like
run.
you see them like run really fast, but like they're kind of off and they're like moving around like this, and Otis like scurrying from side to side, trying to be like a counterweight, and they just like land awkwardly on its foot, and it just like uses the momentum to just slide, and then I think plasters themselves just right at the door, just like a
And you-
right into the wall.
Right in your ear, you hear, well done. That was terrible, but well done.
Thank you. I'm not used to being bad at things.
Anxiety. What is this?
And you successfully get across this trigger plate. And also Moose catches one of your feet as well. And we see Keen falls down. He has to get back up. 5, 10, 15. Socks Senior does not fall. 9, 10, 25, 30. Major here is going to try to dash. Let's see if they can get it. That's 14. All right.
All
So it
right.
leaps over. There's not very much room on the other side of here. Keen is going to try to dash. Let's see if 10, 15. Okay, she can do it. So we'll have her leap across. Let's see if it happens. Oh. Well, let's see what bonuses Keen has. Oh, she has a +6 to her acrobatics.
Oh
She's
my
good.
gosh.
Heck yeah. The bump
Rangers, yeah.
lands on the other side. As we see everyone's running through, and then everyone kind of, as Keen leaps over, everyone looks back at this torch being held by Bob Gimble on the
Bob
far,
is just
far
like-
side.
You know, slightly moving forward. I'll give it a shot. We'll see if I tumble again. 14.
Okay, you do not slip, and you
Okay.
can move your movement, and you can dash if you wish.
Make sure to get your shield as well.
Oh yeah, do you want to take out your shield?
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, I would say like bonus action, boom, pull it out. It
Great.
takes a few seconds. It's not just like easy. You're just like and boom, you pull it out, and you see that the pressure plate kind of goes back in line to where it's supposed to be.
Thank you, Moose. And if I can, I will try to dash the rest of the way because I don't want to
Okay.
be left behind.
Got
All
that.
right, give us an athletics or an acrobatics to try to jump over.
All
that
right,
section.
athletics, so it'll be a +2 to this. 15.
You leap over the pressure plate. And you leap onto the section that is dry, not cold. All of the icicles have been melted from above you. Interestingly enough, no one has triggered this trap. So you see in front of you, there is a door. There are 2 big wooden doors. They looked a little warped because they perhaps used to being very, very cold, and now they're drying out. And you see a little bit of light from underneath the cracks of the door, as if there was another room beyond it. What would you all like to do?
Would we like to check if it is locked before Moose breaks it down?
Moose is like literally about to like try to pull it off its hinges. It's like,
Okay. I'm not good at
Gives
tools.
Carrara a little nudge. Like spurring the horse forward.
There's more doors.
So do you check the door, see if it's
it's trapped.
So as you go to grab the handles, it is locked.
Socks, do you have a key?
What?
Do you have a key?
Key? No, it's never locked.
It seems we are not welcome guests.
Yeah. There's probably someone in there.
Then we
Is it a
will.
bathroom?
No, we call it the hot room. It's kind of like a little place for if you go through and it's cold. It's kind of like you can take off your wet shoes and stuff, and there's like a nice little warm fire in there, and then you go into the rest of the
Let me into this room.
tower.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can anybody like open locked doors?
Everyone kind of looks around.
Okay, if no one can unlock it, I'm just gonna try to rip it off its hinges.
Please do.
Sounds good.
I want to be in that
Okay.
room.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Give me an attack.
attack. That's not great. That is, and just for unarmed, a 12.
Okay. Unfortunately, I mean, you hit the wood, but it doesn't seem like it sinks deep enough.
Oh, Moose is
And-
trying to pull it, like literally pull it off its
Oh,
hinges.
okay. All right. Yeah, so you grab it and the wood starts to buckle, but unfortunately it hasn't moved enough. And then you hear from the other side, like, hey, what's that? I think there's someone at the door. And you hear 2 voices of 2 goblins. And they're like, hey, what should we do? I don't know. And they're kind of like chatting back and forth. We're going to go into initiative real quick just to see. This is time sensitive. So I'll first roll for the Logabis beyond the door. So they have total. Come on, scroll. Total, they have a 15. And I'll say the rest of the people in our party will just be all on once. So it's a 16 for you, the NPCs that are with you. So 16 for NPCs, and then 14 for door goblins. There we go. What did everyone else get?
Moose got 19, Oda got 8, Bob got 10, and Carrara got 6.
Incredible. So let's start at the top of the round.
Okay, so Moose, realizing that there are people on the other side of the door, Moose is gonna say,
Yeah. We forgot the keys to come in. it's me. Sox Jr. was my father, Sox Sr. Say hi, Sox Sr.
Why are you pretending to be me?
Because it's so we can get in.
Yeah, well, I can just be me.
Well, I'm gonna pretend to be your son.
I don't know you the
Let me-
socks.
Yeah, I'm Sox Junior.
You're
Sox
Sox
Senior's
you're Sox
dad.
Senior.
No, we do it
you're Sox
differently.
Sen- Oh, okay.
Yeah, goblins do
sorry.
Junior backwards.
Okay. Yeah,
so-
I'm the dad.
Yes, I'm the dad, and I'm also here. Let us in. Give me a deception. It's gonna be pretty easy, honestly, because these are goblins.
Okay.
But they are aware that you all were coming. So I would say you need to get a 12.
I got a 13.
13!
Oh, yes.
Incredible! So you say that, and from beyond the door, we just hear a pause. And then they're going, well, I mean, did you see him this morning? No, I didn't see him this morning. I think he might be out there. Okay, 1 second. And you hear, and you hear of keys, and you hear, and the doors start to move open. One of the doors opens. You see the little goblin. Hey, get in here! Oh, no! And basically, that is. Well, I guess you can sort of use your action if you would like, Moose. Some kind of bonus. Your deception was that. Oh, and I will reveal this next room right here.
Nice.
You see that there are 2 gobos. If we wanted to zoom in, I'll move this gobbo right here. He's at the door, and there's another armored one near the back. And that is what you see.
Awesome. So this one here, is it like right next to the door? So like within 5 feet of me?
Yeah.
If possible, since my bonus action, because I know raging is a bonus action, can I use my move action to rage and then my action to smack? Or I can just go
I
into a
would
rage.
Yeah, I would
possible.
say, yeah, because I mean, hey, the deception was very useful. So I would say that does use your bonus action. But yeah, you can exchange your action to rage if you would like.
Okay. As soon as the doors fly open, seeing everybody there, Moose just brandishes his giant buster sword and just starts screaming incoherently as he goes into rage.
The goblin screams back at you in terror and sort of like scoots back. And next turn.
The NPC is on our side.
Okay, so I'd say Keen levels, takes out her 2 hand crossbows and shoots. Gonna shoot twice at that goblin. Hits both times. Oh wait, no. What about the 6? Let me look at her stuff. Yes, actually it does hit both times. Okay. And that is, heck yeah. Dead.
Dang.
You see this goblin gets 2 crossbow bolts, 1 in the shoulder, pins back, and then right in the neck. It sort of falls back, dead. And we'll see that Sox Senior is basically going to give the help action to Carrara.
Nice.
And I'd say that that is the NPC's turn. Next,
Door goblins.
door goblins. 1 second, let me find a little skull here so that we can display the dead. He dead. So door goblin. So this guy over here, you see, having seen his friend just get 2 crossbow bolts die in the corners, like, oh shit, and then runs over towards there is a rope in the corner that seems to go up into the wall. Does anyone have any reactions that they would like to do or could do in this moment? Okay. So he runs over as a bonus action, pulls this, and you hear like ding, 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 happening somewhere else beyond in whatever this tower or underground chamber is. You hear an alarm sounding. And then that goblin sort of goes to this door and tries to start opening it as it's fiddling with the door. It sort of turns around as it's trying to find the handle, as it's raising up its crossbow. And I probably could probably see through this door. I'll say this is the one that's open. Probably can see Carrara. So we'll try to take a shot at Carrara. That is a miss. As you see a crossbow bolt sort of whiz past Carrara's ear. It's like, oh God, and that is the goblin's turn. Next.
Bob.
All right. Okay, so you said that this door is the one that's open?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You can definitely go and open the other one if you wish, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to move up. When I get to like the inside, I'd like to open the other doors so that we have like clear access and no one can just slam it on us.
Boom! Open up both doors. Everyone can see in this room.
All right, and then I'll look at this goblin menacingly, and that'll be it for Bob.
Okay. I mean, you can bonus action just to open the door, or free object interaction. It's just opening a door. You still have your bonus in your action.
Sick. Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna. I still have the torch in my hand.
Thank you, Savage DM, for the raid. Welcome, raiders.
Welcome.
Nice. Can I smack him with my torch?
Yeah, 100%. Basically, we'll just treat it like you're attacking with your normal melee weapon, and then we'll just change the damage.
Okay, sounds good. That's a natural one.
Oh, no. Do you have anything to give yourself advantage or anything like that?
No, there's just a part of me that is gonna accept the one just because I've been on ice, worried about my footing. I run in, there's like, blankets and stuff on the ground. I just imagine a little stumble and torch gone.
So you like go to hit, sort of ducks, and then the torch is put out, and you see the goblin's like, "Wait, aren't you on our side? What the hell?"
Me?
And it looks pretty confused. Would you like to bonus action? Use anything with your bonus action?
Oh, I don't think I have anything else. So, yeah, I'm just like confused. Like, on your side, what are you talking about?
Incredible. Next turn. Who's up next?
Oda. Oda's going to
see. Yeah.
give a little side go. He makes people into bones. You could use this knowledge in the future. They would assume you are on their side.
Oh. Good to know. Good to know.
And then I'm going to grow a tentacle and Eldritch Blast.
Incredible. Give us an attack.
Well, that's another nat one.
Everyone just keeps missing.
Yep.
Incredible.
So I think Oda, still perched on Carrara, shoots this off and is like, it is so cold. And is just going to use their movement to scurry off of Carrara and just go stand by the fire. just kind of get near the fire. They are cold-blooded. They do not like this.
Yeah.
Tentacle
Bob is also in your way, too.
Yeah, Bob is standing
of Carrara.
sort of right in the way.
Yeah, I was on top of Carrara.
And anything else? If that's your action, you can still have a bonus.
I have no bonus actions.
You can always pull, or you can always push, or do I allow like intelligence or wisdom checks for like more information as bonus actions. You can take out a potion. Well, I guess you can't really drink a potion unless it specifically says, but yeah.
I am fine.
All right. Next.
It is me. I want to know if I is trying to convince the goblins that this goblin here made a grave mistake in alerting them too soon. Is that an action?
I would say it can be a bonus.
So I think Carrara enters the room and goes back over to where the goblin kind of rang the bell, and like shouted out to the other goblins, and tries to do their best impersonation of this goblin, and says, "Hello, everyone. Sorry, I might have rung the bell too soon. It was actually just a group of mice that looked really scary. They're quite large rodents of unusual size, I believe they're called. And don't worry about it. I think I have got it handled. 2 of them have already triggered the ice trap and are dispatched, and I can take on the last one by myself."
Wonderful. Give me a deception. You're going to have to get a 14 or above because they've just been alerted and it seems like they knew you were coming. So this might be a little difficult.
A 14.
Yeah! Oh, exactly. Incredible. So you see this little...
If warding bond is still going, you got a 7.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, roll a d4.
But I also... Well, I'm going to use that for my next one. Never mind.
Okay.
Because I was like, I have... That's +1, so 15. I got a 15 to deceive them.
Incredible.
And then I have a regular action?
Yes, yeah. So you... So there's this little horn on the wall that seems to be connected to some sort of system next to that little lever that rings some bells. And you say that into that horn. You don't hear a response, but someone must have heard you. What would you like to do as your action?
I think I'd like to this is stupid. But I'm gonna use my pratfall spell.
Oh,
and
snap.
I am going to try to magically clap the ears of this goblin to disorient it.
Ooh.
Okay, heck yeah. What do they have to do? Is this an attack roll or is this a saving throw?
Let's see. Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay, okay. What is the number that they need to beat?
So there doesn't appear to be a DC here.
It's going to be your spellcasting
spell save DC, 13.
Yeah, your spell save DC. Okay, 13. Okay, they have a +0 to this. So they have to get a 13 or they fall. Ooh, that is a 12. That is a fail.
Oh my gosh!
So what happens? Is it damage or is it the...
So Carrara like speaks into the thing and then like looks over at the goblin like and like a pair of like swirly kind of sparkling like silvery and gold sparkling like energies take the shape of these giant oversized gloved hands, and they like sneak up behind the back of the goblin and just go bong on the sides of its ears as Carrara kind of like waggles her fingers at them. It says here that what happens to said goblin, it feels the sensation of a quick clap against its ears, briefly disorienting it. You can't maintain concentration, so I guess the goblin is distracted.
Okay, awesome. I would say, heck yeah, I will move Carrara into the room here.
This is a very silly spell, so
I love
it. It has a few different things that
It's
it
a
does.
great one.
I think it's very fun.
Great to use, especially on spellcasters and stuff, because they can't do
Heck
concentration.
yeah. Next.
Me, Moose. All right.
Yeah, she-
Moose is going to scurry on up through the legs of Bob Gimble.
Yeah.
And immediately leaps towards the goblin with the large buster sword to try and attack. And I will reckless attack on this one. Ooh,
Heck yeah.
it's gonna be a hit no matter what. That's gonna be a 23.
That definitely hits.
And will charge in, dealing some damage with D4s. And then +5. That's going to be 10 points of damage altogether.
What does it look like when you murder this goblin that was like super disoriented and
I
you
think-
fly in there?
I think like as the goblin's like super disoriented, kind of like, whoa, Moose just leaps towards the goblin, and we just see like the camera pans up a little bit as that rope is still there. We see the goblin like trying to grab the rope, and it's just like as there is lots of sounds of stabbing, and eventually one little hand that kind of shakes and comes up before it falls. And then Moose will look to the door and point to the door and go, hey, you go.
Say we are out of initiative as you have slaughtered this last goblin. And yes, you see this door in front of you. What would you like to do?
What do we do?
Box?
Moose is gonna try to open the door.
Okay. You open the door
Ooh.
and you see this. There is it seems to be a hallway. Seems to be a hallway that extends to the right, extends to the left, and then it seems to curve, maybe leading to more hallways on the side. But directly in front of you, you see that there is a metal door. A large metal door, but it is ajar a little bit. And you see that there is some sort of light, sort of like green light coming from beyond it, a little bit of chanting voices. And you hear the voice of Zifitraz being like, yes, come on in, my dear friends.
We're not friends.
Sox Jr., do you know what is going... Or Sox Sr., sorry, very confusing. Do you know what is going on in there?
Well, I guess it's time for him to do his ritual. He kind of does it every kind of couple of weeks. I don't like to be part of it because whoever goes in there, they don't come out. I wouldn't go in there if I were you. Only him and the butcher go in. And a
Who is
couple
the
of
butcher?
servants, but I think it's some sort of mercenary.
Is it a... Huh. Maybe there's like a back entrance. That's why you don't see them come out.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Perhaps a skeleton or a statue would be safer.
Oh.
Yeah, I could do what you were saying, Oda.
I will say though, Bob, Zivitraz as the illusion did talk to you and did see you before. So at least in your current appearance, they would probably recognize you.
I'm gonna have
Same
to
with
strip.
Carrara.
You're gonna have to take off your pants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sacrifice your pants.
We could also open the door, see how much we can see, and see if
So
we can
you would-
attack from a distance.
So you would like to go into this next room?
We're discussing. Give us a moment.
Sorry. I thought that was you
Excuse me,
saying, and this is
DM.
what I want to do.
Whatever it is you all might need me to do, I will do. I feel incredibly out of my element. You see Carrara like fretting and like kind of getting all the dust and other stuff that's like on their outfit off. They've never been so unruffled. Just awful.
You're doing a good job, Carrara.
Thank you.
I think
I
you're a
cry a
good
little bit.
adventurer. You remind me of someone that I once knew,
I do.
except you're a lot more charming.
Thank you. Thank you. I fear my charm is nothing for the rest of your talents. I've never been the most useless member of a party before.
You're very good. And the only compliment I'm going to give, at least right now.
You are very useful.
Yeah.
For hiding behind.
You kept me off the ice. I was able to save Moose because of you.
That's true.
I do
Alright.
not like the ice. It makes me slow.
I feel boasted.
Do we wish to open the door and try and attack from a distance? Looks back at Keen. Perhaps you could help.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I guess the sort of plan of attack is, I don't know what we're walking into, so, I mean, I guess is the plan to just kind of hit them from the door, or do we want to run in and spread out, or don't know what kind of room we're going into.
I can
So I've
help with
seen-
this. I can help with this. I can help.
Oh.
You see them get like
Alright.
really excited. They're trying not to move too much because the space is very small and they are big, but they're like really, really pumped. And she looks down and and as it kind of like stares and like blinks at its hand, it detaches from its body. And as it falls to the ground, it turns into a spider.
Oh.
Ooh,
You see
what?
Carrara sit onto the floor, like kind of cross-legged, and their eyes are stone eyes all of the time, but there's like a kind of life, like a shimmer behind them. It tells you that they are living. They don't have pupils or irises, but there's like almost like an inner glow that kind of like emits from the eyes a little bit. Not enough to like light up a room or anything like that, but enough to tell you that they are not just a statue. Their eyes kind of dim, like they're in total statue mode, as this spider like turns from being kind of like a large like hand looking thing into like a little gray spider, and then turns black and is like a small regular spider, and it crawls underneath the door. I
Whoa.
would like to I'm using creeping touch,
What is that?
and it is a spell that allows me to detach my my hand at the wrist. It turns into a spider. I can communicate with it telepathically. I can see through its eyes and hear what it hears until the start of my next turn.
Whoa.
I'm deafened and blinded in regard to my own senses. I haven't taken any
Whoa.
damage, but apparently,
Wow.
if this is found out, I will take 5 points of damage. So hopefully,
Oh.
Hell yeah. That's
hopefully
so
we
cool.
won't get caught.
Carrara,
awesome.
when Carrara does that, Bob is just gonna like make a little note and be like, that would be great for our act.
Okay, so then give me a stealth check with your spider hand.
Spider hand.
Do I have advantage because it is small and silent?
I will say, unfortunately, no, because they're expecting you.
Can I?
If
can I give my
they
warning
were
bond?
unaware that anyone was coming, then I would say perhaps yes. But the door has been opened, presumably for you all, and so it seems like they might be watching it. So you can just roll it straight.
15.
Can I add 2 to that with warding bond?
Yeah, I think so.
17 then.
Heck yeah. Let me see. Okay. So as we sort of move up, we will see what the spider sees in this room. See this. Is a square style room. Looks like there might be an exit on the northern side. As you enter into this room, you see that there is some pool of greenish bubbling liquid around this kind of like island almost set up like an altar in the center of this room. There are these little wooden almost like ladders or bridges made across this pool of glowing liquid. The light from the room is coming from this liquid from the ground, as it's kind of like 5 feet down, kind of like a little bit of a drop where this liquid is. And in the center is a little altar where there's a big black cauldron in the center of the room. And it is also bubbling and changing colors, illuminating. Also, in this room, directly above that cauldron, is a hole in the ceiling, a very large hole in the ceiling where you can see daylight pouring in, and a little bit of ivy and lichen sort of falling in, as if this hole must have been made quite a long time ago. And in this room, there are hundreds of candles spread out around here. You can hear the low sort of like weird little like whispers or chanting from who knows where. And you see that there's a very large ogre in this room who has a red mohawk and has a very large sword that is drawn sort of in their hand. They have a shield. They look pretty well off. They're about like 8 feet tall. Ogres are very large. And you see a couple of skeletons that are about goblin size that are sort of just rambling around, looking, just kind of standing around, looking a little vacant, just kind of looking around. And you see Ziphatraz in the flesh, not an illusion, not a green smoky illusion. You see the real Ziphatraz who's wearing a fake beard. You can see the string on it. You see that he is wearing Brandlegast's hat. He has the 2 little cages of necklaces that are in his hand, not around his neck anymore. You see this nasty little bone wand that he is holding that has a little bit of a green glow to it. And he is, I would say he kind of puts the cage back on as he grabs a large, no. He keeps the wand and he's sort of moving it above the cauldron. It is sort of stirring. He says, yes, it is almost time. It is nearly time. They are almost here. And then I will rule the Red Kingdom. Yes. As he's sort of slowly spinning and sort of looking at the door. I thought they'd be here by now. Oh, what am I going to say? Well, I'll probably say something about my goals, yes, and something about how I've gotten here. Yes, or how smart I am. Yeah, some of that, I think. And you see the ogre in the corner is like, so do you want me to kill him or not? Of course I want you to kill them, you fool. As soon as they step in here, butcher them. It's in your name, isn't it? All right, it's what you pay me for. I guess I'll do it. You need any more of them? And sort of looks around at the skeletons, and he's like, yes, perfect. Thank you for reminding me. And you see he sort of turns towards the book at his side, and it sort of floats up in front of him. Yes, this one shall do. And he points at the book, rise! And the wand sort of glows a little bit, and you see throughout this room, there's several piles of bones, and they start to rattle, and they start to slowly put themselves together. And you see 1, 2, 3, and 4 skeletons start to reconstruct, put themselves together. And you see a glowing green light from within their skulls start to brighten as they are animated up and sort of become one. And that is what you see as the spider kind of goes into the room unseen. They do not see the spider.
Yes.
Carrara kind of narrates all of this very, very quietly, as like they're taking it in. And I think when they're finished, they say, yes, little one, please make sure that you stay out of sight. I want you to continue to feed us information. If you can, I'll have someone guide me into the room when the time is right. And so she kind of like feels around and stands up and is like, I cannot see while I have the spider in there. I can only see through its eyes and get its senses. So if you respond, I don't think I can hear you, but I'd say that we are in good enough shape considering how many we are in our party. And the ogre perhaps could be bought. If any of us has any money or anything we could trade, he doesn't seem satisfied with his job.
Well,
Damn,
Randall
right there.
Gast has lots of money, so I could probably, promise something.
Moose?
hallway.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The hallway seems to go right and left. If you say there is another entrance, do we wish to pincer attack them and sneak around, or should we concentrate all our forces?
I would say you do see at the northern section of this room, you do see that there is another door up here. So you are correct about that.
Well, I'm not quite stealthy at all. Marble and all that. But we could mount a defense where perhaps some of us pull around the rear while some of us come in the expected way. I don't think they know how many are in our number.
Well, I guess you do know that Zivitraz did talk to you all outside of the cave. So they at least saw those people, but yeah, correct, yeah.
Oh, look back at Keen. Do we wish
I
to
mean,
be
hey,
sneaky?
wherever you guys need me, I can go.
I have an idea.
I will say, because Carrara can't technically hear us, Moose is communicating this through telepathy.
Right.
That way it can stay in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
So Moose is going to attempt something that's probably not going to work.
Oh boy.
Is to use the Hat of Vermin to summon a bat. And I know it says that the bat tries to escape. However, Moose is going to try and like hold on to its little feet and like telepathically communicate and be like, wait. As summons the bat, bat comes out, grabs its little feet, and says, wait.
I have a deal that we can make.
Okay, awesome. So you're going to try to do that with the bat. I think that's super awesome. What does everyone else want to do? We see that Carrara is trying to keep an eye on the situation. Carrara, you can move that spider hand wherever you would like it to be. I made one and put it in the room. You can move that wherever you feel like you want your Carrara hand to be. Oda and Bob, what would you like to do? It seems like Keen is keen for whatever plan you guys come up with. She's happy to kind of sort of go around or stay by the door or whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's the question for the party is there's advantages to coming in on both sides. There's advantages to keeping the party together.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say above the table, if anybody wants me to be in this battle fully, you would need to let me know that you want me to pull the spider hand back. Otherwise, I'll leave the spider hand like where I put it, like by the cauldron, so that we can still have that intel. I actually kind of wonder if they would be confused to only have like 3 people come through the door and Carrara just like sit in there and stay there. Like, I don't know how much this goblin like knows about magic or if he's just like using magic. You know what I mean? Like he's just kind of fucking around. Like, I don't know if he's gonna like look at Carrara and be like, aha, I know exactly what spell this is. Or if he's just gonna be like, why isn't that one moving? Because goblin.
Moose is 100% going to keep Carrara in the loop. Whether it's just so like they know exactly what's happening and aren't like caught unawares.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking that once we start the attack, I would like, if we split up, Bob would like to stay on this side so that he can cast the sanctuary on Carrara. so that for a minute, if someone tries to go after Carrara, they'll have something warding against any attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we split the party, I'm not going to be able to give you warding bond. But I do think Oda and Keen coming up from the back and kind of potentially having a couple free shots on this Gabo would be real nice.
Mm-hmm.
Keen looks at you. She's like, that sounds like a good idea. We're gonna have to act fast.
I don't know exactly what Moose is doing with the bat, but I could 100% see Moose just standing in front of the door taunting.
It's gonna be, if I can get this bat to work with me, it's gonna be a lot better.
Amazing.
Oh.
But yeah.
Which hallway do you want to go down? Right or the left?
I mean, is everyone cool with splitting the party before I...
Let's do it.
Okay.
I also want to, if Oda and if Keen are on board, I can use my second bond and bond you two together, so that
okay.
you two will have bonuses as long as you two are close to
Very
each other.
nice. I think...
You see Keen kind of looks at Oda, is like, I guess so.
Okay.
Is there a problem?
No, everything's great. Everything's good. Just hearing all the whispering coming from you is a little disconcerting, but I think we're on the same side, right?
Yes.
All right. Sort of moves her hand forward.
Bonded together.
Heck yeah, where would you like to go?
Oda's going to cast Veil of Dusk on themselves, which is going to raise their armor class by 1. And also they will make stealth checks with advantage.
Incredible.
And I think left hall.
Okay. So we see, we're gonna be moving the camera here. See this hallway seems to be a room to the left. It looks like a nicer door, I guess. But since our goal is to go all the way to the bottom, you keep going. There's a corner, and then we hit the back hall, where you see that there is 2 more doors. They seem and less nice doors seem to be more used. Might have been smeared with some kind of like stuff, food and shit smeared on the door. Might not be where someone nice lives. Yeah, that is what you see. And then you see this back door is also cracked open.
Can I listen at this door at the back and just see if it sounds like any, like listening for reinforcements, basically?
The back door? Yes. Give me a perception real quick. And I'll say also, Moose, give me a persuasion while we're doing rolls.
Okay. Damn it. Okay.
That's a 3, so there is nothing behind this door that is of any danger.
You kind of put your ear up to it, and you feel the pressure to get to the battle rather than taking a moment to listen. So you put it up, and then you're like, no, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And you just run up towards this metal door leading to the central chamber with Keen.
Moose got a 7.
Okay. I'll have this bat roll. They're going to have basically a -1, so let's see what happens. Oh, wait, what did you roll?
7.
A 7. Incredible. So that is a 6 for the bat. So you see, as you sort of summon this bat, it's like, what the fuck? It's just a fly away. Yeah, what? Who are you? Ew.
It's okay. I'm so sorry. I have. No, I'm not actually sorry. But I have a favor that I have to ask. Can you do something? Do you want to be a hero?
What? I mean, I guess so. I didn't exist until a few seconds ago, and now I'm alive, and you're scared, and everything's weird.
It's okay. You're gonna keep existing. So what we're gonna do, right?
Okay, sure, whatever.
When those doors fly open.
Tell me what a hero is, real quick.
A hero is someone who does good things.
Okay, I can be down for that.
Awesome. Okay. So when those doors open, I'm gonna hang on to you, and you are gonna fly into that room. You just have to fly all the way through. That's all you gotta do. Just
Okay, all right.
wherever you want to go, but just straight in there.
Okay, all right. I can do this.
Okay. What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Can I get a name for this bat from our group real quick?
Bruce?
Bruce!
Bruce the bat.
My name's Bruce. Yeah.
All right, Bruce the Bat.
Okay. What's your name?
Moose.
Huh.
Moose and Bruce.
Moose and Bruce. Okay.
We are the duo.
Dynamic
Okay.
duo.
All right.
Oh gosh. Here we go.
All right. Get ready. When the door opens, we're gonna get him.
Okay, we're gonna get him. Who are we getting?
Yeah.
And then we jump over to Bob. So what is Bob doing? We see Oda and Keen ready at the back door. Carrara is, I guess, sort of unconscious. We'll just sort of like put her in this hallway right here. Put him in that hallway right there. And Moose is, I guess, has like a little bat friend. What is going on? I would say, Carrara, at this moment, you see that Ziphatraz, as you're all preparing this up, Ziphatraz is taking off the necklace that has the people inside of it. And he says, yes, I believe it's time to start. And he grabs one of the cages and he's starting to hold it. He's moving towards the cauldron. What does Carrara let everyone else know that is happening?
Carrara lets Moose know and is hoping Moose will tell other people.
Oh, okay.
Because Carrara can't, Carrara doesn't know like who's there still, kind of, because they're blinded. So, and they don't want to like shout and like give away everybody's position. So I think Moose, you hear from Carrara that this is happening, and I can't. Okay, so the spider just looks around. I can't like ask the spider to bring me anything. I wish I could.
Ah, dang.
I wish I could. And I think if I actually, if I cast Mage Hand, that won't cause me to lose my concentration, right? Because it's not another concentration spell.
No, I don't think so. You can kind of like combine Mage Hand with the spider to like make it kind
That's
of like
what I was hoping that you were gonna say.
I think that's super fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So this Mage Hand is like it's the same kind of sparkles that you saw with the hand that kind of clapped the ears of the goblin before. And it stays very low to the ground and tries to stick to the shadows, and primes itself to grab whatever Ziphatraz is gonna try to throw in the cauldron. Like wants to intercept to like snatch it out of the air. So I prime it for that.
Awesome. So I guess it's Bob. Down to you and Moose.
Yeah.
What happens as you hear that they're moving towards this cauldron to do something, to maybe begin this ritual or something like that? What do you do?
Bob is basically going to be waiting for Moose to burst through, and then Bob is going to cast Sanctuary on Carrara.
Okay.
All right.
Moose then is going to go to the door, look at all the others, nod, speak to Carrara in its mind, and say,
We're good to go.
and that's when Moose will throw open the doors and just loudly start screaming to try and also alert Oda and Keen on the other side.
What does Moose scream as they enter into this room?
I think Moose just screams, "Your beard sucks!" as just starts riding the bat into the room.
I see Ziphatraz looks up. Kill it! And that is where we're going to end the episode for today. As the battle begins, we will join them back up next week.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. As always, thank you to Adam, our incredible GM. Thank you, chat. You've been amazing. Thank you so much to Light Studios for the follow, to Margot the Wizard for the follow. Thank you to the Savage DM for the raid and the follow, and thank you for Aaron My Laundry for the raid. That one guy, thank you for the follow. And thank you all for just hanging out and being awesome. As a reminder, if you would like to help us in this big final fight that's coming up in the next and final episode of this arc, don't forget we do have a Ko-fi link where you can tip and unlock goodies. And we might, given how many nat ones we rolled today, they might heckin' help, because that was.
Yeah.
So yes, I have been Kay Purcell, Kay Damphir across the internet. She, they pronouns. I've been playing Oda, the very creepy little kobold, and yes, thank you for joining us here at Chaotic Wholesome. And Piper, correct? I kicked a Piper, right?
Yes, me. Hello, I've been Piper and have always will be. I've been playing Moose tonight. I use they, them pronouns. Moose uses he, him pronouns. And you can find me over on my Twitch channel, Matihi. Actually, this upcoming Saturday, this will be our finale for season 2 of What We Do in the Shallows. So if you want to catch it, you should. And I also play there with Candace. It is a wonderful time. You can also catch me where you get your pods and podcasts with Candace as well for the Hidden North with 12-Sided Story. It is an absolute blast. It is very scary, very terrifying. We're in very bad situations. So I definitely suggest that you check that out. You can also find me on Twitter at Maddie Matihi. That's MattyMateehee. I don't know why I'm spelling it out, but I am, because that's what I'm used to whenever I talk about my Twitter.
Because it's helpful.
You're welcome.
You've been doing podcasts.
Yep. That's fully what it is. Thank you all so much. I hope you had a wonderful time and a wonderful day. I'm going to throw it over to Candace.
Hello, my name's Candace the Magnificent. You can find me at the Candace Marie on Twitter and Blue Sky, at Candace the Magnificent, pretty much everywhere else. I am going to actually try to start streaming some goddamn video games.
Let's go.
On my goddamn Twitch channel. I swear I'm doing it. I swear. You can find me in a variety of places other than my Twitch channel. I'm also practicing my ukulele covers in case anybody misses that for some reason. There might be a second session of my one NB production of Rocky Horror Picture Show. We'll see. Anyway, find me exactly where Piper said. You can also hear more of me on the Cosmic Horror Meets Fargo podcast, Partial Veil, if you like audio dramas. And this coming week, I'm actually in a bunch of places. I do not have my planner in front of me, but on Friday, you'll be able to see me playing in a one-shot of Vampire the Masquerade with tabletop spinners. You can find me a bunch of other places that you're going to see when you go to my socials, because that's where all my stuff is. And yeah, by the end of this month, I can say these 2 things. By the end of this month, 2 things that have not been announced are going to be out, but you guys are cool, and you're here with us on this lovely day, so I'm going to tell you about it. The first one is called Curse of the Black Rose Herald of Shadows, which is the new 3 Black Halflings AP. Please check it out. We've got awesome guests. And then the second thing that'll be out by the end of the month is Frequencies. Frequencies is a Kids on Bikes campaign, technically, not really at all. We roll like this much, but it is about creativity and what happens when you're afraid of selling out to the man. That is with the Atomless, the crew, and should be out by the end of the month. I'm going to pass it over to Matt.
Hey y'all, I'm Matt. I've been Bob, and you can find me everywhere as Improv and RPG. This has been such a blast. Thank y'all so much. I'll send it over to Adam.
Hello everyone, I'm Adam. You can find me at Adam So Wizard on the internets. I do the game mastering thing and the writing thing. And if you'd like to play in this game or other ones, you can find me on Start Playing. We can play this game and other ones like it if you'd like. And I think that's it for us today. Thank you so much. Please join us next week for our finale of this arc. But before we go, I need a word. I need a phrase that we can go out on of this episode, everybody.
Zip the trash.
Zippa trash pants.
Zip a trash.
Zip a trash pants.
Zippa
Yes,
trash pants.
let's
All right,
go.
everyone, put your hands in on the count of 3. Zippa trash pants. 3, 2, 1. Zippa
trash
trash
pants.
pants. All right, we'll see you next weweek, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye, Zip a trash pants.
Bye, Zippa trash pants. I'm saying.